Representing the business of boxing, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Manager Marty!
Thank you. You're far too kind. Thank you very
much. Representing the business of boxing, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Manager Marty!
Thank you. You're far too kind. Thank you very much.
Representing the business of boxing, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Manager Marty!
Thank you. You're far too kind. Thank you very much.
Representing the business of boxing, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Manager Marty!
Thank you. You're far too kind. Thank you very much.
Representing the business of boxing, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Manager Marty!
Thank you. You're far too kind. Thank you very much.
The reason the fighters are coming to me is because they know that I understand the process and I understand how to help them enroll in the program where they're doing the most stringent program. So when you sign the enrollment form, it says that we will test for all prohibited substances at all times. So there's a big difference, okay, in what Usada is doing and what Vada is doing. Vada is far more stringent.
So back to my original question. When we talked about the frequency, and we talked once every 10 days, and of course the frequency has to be more than that.
And the number of tests that are being performed, and it goes into the word you ask about, stringent.
Stringent, right? And yeah. we talked about Vada actually saying on their website 8 weeks standard-wise. I'm going to use the term standard-wise. 8 weeks prior. So
it's like a sticker on a car in the window. Right. When you go up and they say, well, here's the standard for this car, but we've got all these extra things. We're going to 12 weeks, therefore it's going to cost you more money.
Right. So now that we have established that, where let's say 8 weeks prior is the standard, in negotiations it can go 10 to 12 weeks, and then of course everybody would know that because payments have to be issued. And then you're saying stringent, which is the frequency and once every 10. When we hear all these numbers as just fans of the sport of boxing, this doesn't sound random. Definitely to me, it doesn't sound like it's random because they're telling you 8 weeks prior to a bout, you're going to be tested. You use the word stringent. Let me finish real quick, Vic. You use the word stringent, but we also have you educating us. In 2011, I wrote the tape back and you heard yourself speaking on it, and you said you stand by it, and even today, where someone can use EPO and manipulate this whole system that we're talking about. How is that random or at least unannounced?
I would say that it's better than no testing.
So there's a word that's been floating around here on this podcast, and it's been floating around on Twitter, or X, formerly known as Twitter, and that is the word that's always mentioned, not by you, Margaret, but by other people who promote Vada and fighters, and that word is stringent. We were told here, right here live on this podcast, the word stringent testing or stringent means once every 10 days. Can you confirm what the stringent testing And Vada testing means stringent?
Gosh, I don't know. I've never heard anything mentioned in that regard. Basically, sometimes we'll test someone 2 days in a row. It just depends on the program for that specific athlete. Usually, what happens is the promotional entity will give us a budget, and so depending on the budget, you kind of now a little bit know the average cost, and that's. I gave you a cost without the doping collection officer that has to travel there, but on the average, if it's a fight, let's say if a fighter enrolls in our program 2 months before a fight, they may be tested 6 times, they may be tested 9 times, they may be tested 5 or 4 times. It just depends, but it may not be on an every 10-day basis, because then that kind of defeats the purpose. Then they know every 10 days they can stop something so they don't test positive for it.
Ladies and gentlemen, members of the jury, members of the Roll the Tape film crew, welcome to another episode, another edition of Roll the Tape podcast with Manager Marty. I'm your host, Manager Marty, and I welcome each and every last one of you who represent the Roll the Tape film crew, and also double salute to all of the members of this channel and supervisors of the Roll the Tape film crew. You all are extremely welcome, and you know I appreciate your contributions every month from the bottom of my heart. I also want to welcome all of my haters, all of my spies, my detractors, and those of you that just hate my guts, including some of your favorite content creators. I want to tell you, I welcome you as well. I do have the link pinned to the top of the chat for any perspective, in every perspective, which all are welcome. If you want to click that link at any time throughout the duration of this live broadcast to come talk to me. I want to give a big shout out to a special member of this channel. I haven't seen him in a while, and every time I hear from him over the phone, it's always encouraging. Every time I see him in the chat, he always mentions words like teacher and classroom, and he's the reason why I dub myself as the professor. You know, there's characters that I use interchangeably on this show as the professor, the prosecutor, the promoter, and of course, the preacher. And so I have to double salute my guy representing the West Coast all the way out there in Las Vegas, Nevada. My guy, Matthew Thomas. Double salute to my guy, Matt Thomas. Matt, it's always a pleasure when you come up here live, when you're in the super chat, when you're in the comments section, and then when you call or text my phone. Brother, that's like family to me. He's one of my day one supporters from the very, very beginning of the inception of this channel. And I also have to double salute another guy who has dubbed me as 007. You know, I love all the names that all of you have given me in the last 2 years that I've been on YouTube. And that's my guy, Deem, by any means. And he carried it so well as a man. We met in person, and he's always straight up and down, man of integrity, my guy, Deem. And I want to say double salute to my guy, Deem. And if you haven't done so already, please, when this broadcast go off, y'all make sure y'all go subscribe to Deem by Any Means channel, because Deem, his content and his perspective is since I've been listening to the brother, since he's been coming up on my panel, always been on point. And I also have to say this because there's certain names like the teacher, the professor that I, was inspired to use by like Matt Thomas, that's in the chat. Cash Crypto and 2 Cents Boxing, you know, call me Mac Marty. You know, somebody else dubbed me as Marty X. Somebody else, well, I made this name up. Manager Marty Luther King. That was me right there for the preacher. And then I also made a manager Marty Joe Clark as the professor. You know, remember the movie Lean on Me, the principal Joe Clark? But, you know, different names, you know, that people always give me, and I appreciate it and admire it. Some of my constituents off of YouTube that has nothing to do with boxing. I have constituents and I represent so many other different communities. Some of my constituents on the rail, they have dubbed me. I think this started, I want to say about 2 months ago. They start calling me Mayor Marty, MAYORMARTY, and I got a kick out of that where they start calling me Mayor Marty. So I got all these different, you know, names and personalities on YouTube. Let me just say that personalities, not personality disorder, like some people that I believe have. I'm not here to diagnose, but you know, like people like Rachel and Victor and Bill Haney, you know, not those type of personality disorders. It's just certain characters I use through my own personality here to entertain all of you, to get the education out there. Now, before I start this show, I want to remind some of us, because a lot of people wasn't here last week when I broke this thing down like an old rifle, and I exposed something. And 2-3 weeks ago, I exposed something that's even more egregious, in my opinion. And that is that 24/7, 365, or if you want to flip it the other way, 365, 24/7 testing through Vada is a hoax and it's fake news. I said it 2 weeks ago. I've been saying it over 10 years now, and I'm going to keep saying it over and over again. And I have the evidence to support what I'm saying. Okay? Now, let's get to the fact that Devin Haney and Bill Haney allegedly, quote unquote, pulled up on Ryan Garcia. See, we were under the impression as boxing fans that Devin Haney traveled to London, right? He traveled to London when he did the media workout in the UK, right? We thought that he was there, you know, as a way of trying to garner the boxing community in the UK and galvanize a fan base out there in the UK, excuse me, to buy into the image and the reputation of Devin Haney, since we have heard that he's returning in March. His words, not mine. And so, but we recognize now, since the weekend have came and gone, that Devin Haney actually didn't just go over there for a media workout and to conduct interviews with people. Devin Haney went over there just like most of the other fighters and dignitaries and authorities and regulatory authorities and even promoters and trainers that represent the sport of boxing. There was the Ring Awards ceremony happening in the UK. Okay? And let me stop my show because I have to give a double salute to a supervisor of the Roll the Tape film crew, a member of this channel. And she has provided us a contribution. And this is the first, but definitely, I'm convinced it will not be the last super chat we get throughout the duration of this live. Because as the air fryer is warming up, we need contributions to continue to put out quality content here on the channel. So double salute to my homegirl, Ty Drakeford. Ty says in the super chat, let's turn that air fryer on. And she came right into the live before the live started, and she dropped that donation. And so we thank you, Ty, for your contribution and your support to the channel, as always. And I love your feedback in the comments section, Ty. And it's always a great thing when we have women that are engaging in the chat, providing their financial and monetary resources to the channel to support me, to have so much grace and so much class in the chat. And I love that about the ladies that support this channel. And there's a guy in my chat right now, and he doesn't reply or comment with favorable things to say about me, and I love it either way it comes. You know, Jay Brumfield, I want to tell you something about me. You might not know this because I've been like this all my life. I live for controversial moments. So the task at hand that I'm assigned to, you know, God has given me this assignment. When we talk about promoting clean sport in boxing, so I live for moments like this, where people call me a hater, all because I'm exposing the truth. I live for moments. That's why my man Dean called me 007, because I go and dig up the receipts. You know, I've been doing, hey, Jay, let me tell you this secret, because it's an open secret now. I've been conducting research on cheating, PD usage, testing, anti-doping in the sport of boxing and sports all around the world for 15 years. I got stuff locked in the vault right now that I ain't even pulled out yet. I didn't even expose yet. But don't worry about it, Jay. I'll be dubbed as the hater, the Walmart manager, the Target manager. And listen now, I told y'all last week by the phone booth, I'm still waiting for Chick-fil-A. Yeah, I'm still waiting for Chick-fil-A because I'm going to try my best to go be the manager at Chick-fil-A. I hope if I become the manager at Chick-fil-A, I hope I can get them to open on Sunday, because every time I hear Bill Haney talk, Rachel Donier, Victor Conti, and the rest of them over there at Snack, every time I hear them talk, it's almost like they're convincing me that I can pull up to a Chick-fil-A and order a Chick-fil-A sandwich with Chick-fil-A sauce on a Sunday at the drive-thru. They just make me feel like I can. When I hear them talk, it convinces me, because they sound so truthful is where I'm getting at with this. They sound like they're so genuine when they talk. Make me want to believe Chick-fil-A open on Sundays. Maybe when I become the manager over there, I can help talk to them about that. And speaking of names, I'm going to transition from this and jump right back. Brian King, I can't leave him out. Brian King has also dubbed me with a few names, and I love it. Brian King, he said, first he called me Kendrick Lamarty. Not Kendrick Lamar, Kendrick Lamarty. And he did that when I exposed Rachel Donier, not once but twice on a live video I did in response to what she said about me. Okay? That was months ago. We don't want to rehash. I am going to rehash a little bit of that. So don't move and stay right there. Don't move. I'm going to rehash just a little bit of that before we leave today. And Brian King also dubbed me as Walmarty. I've got to put this on my screen. I love Brian King. That's my guy. He's been here day one supporter as well. Kendrick Lamarty and Walmarty. I love this show, man. I got the best audience on YouTube. I can guarantee you that. Let's get on to the show. Now, here's the thing. Boxing Hacker is here too. Him and Jay Brumfield. I love how both of those guys give me their perspective. And speaking of Jay Brumfield, I have to put this up there, Jay, because everything doesn't have to be favorable towards me. That's why I always acknowledge and welcome all of those that don't agree with me, right? But Jay Brumfield even said, he said, Marty, you're the 5-ranked Devin hater in the world of YouTube. My God. I'm ranked number 5? I'm disappointed in you, Jay. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm disappointed, man. I'm only ranked 5 Devin hater in the world of YouTube. Why am I ranked number 5, man? You know I don't do nothing in my life. I don't settle for number 2 for anything in my life. You know, I always tell people this. If I can't give you my 100, I'm not going to give you anything. I strive to be number 1. So, Jay Brumfield, I hope by the end of this live broadcast, I can go and improve from number 5 ranking to number 1 as a Devin hater in the world of YouTube. I want to be number 1. I don't settle for number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. I want to be number 1. But while you modify your rankings, I want you to listen to this truth I'm going to give you today. Okay? And don't get mad at me. Don't get mad at me. Don't get mad at the Roller Tape Film Crew. Don't get mad at Deem. Don't get mad at Cash. Don't get mad at Ty. Don't get mad at All Things. Don't get mad at us. Don't get mad at Brian King. Don't get mad at us. All we're doing is stating the facts. That's all. Don't get mad at my man KQKC and Knockout Boxing and there's some other guys that I like. It's only a handful of. I mean, I can point about 4 or 5 YouTubers that I like and enjoy their content. Like in just one hand, I can count them on one hand. But the bottom line, don't get mad at us for pointing out truth. All right, I'm on a God-given assignment, and there's nothing that nobody can do about that. Now let's move on to the show. And listen now, more contributions are necessary to get the air fryer to continually warm up. Okay, so we don't mind freeloaders coming over here. We don't mind. We don't mind if you want to come over here and get some free education and knowledge and entertainment. We don't mind. We don't mind. Okay, we don't mind if you come to the cookout and the family barbecue with your own plate and your own personalized aluminum foil. I don't mind. But all I'm saying is now, if you want to eat some of this knowledge, entertainment, and education, drop something. Just go on and drop something. Okay? Let me take my glasses off because I love having my family here with me. Let me take these off so I can hear me saying this part. I am the most controversial, the most imitated, and the most insulted, but the least paid content creator in the YouTube boxing community. So, every now and then, I got to ask y'all for donations. It costs money to run these platforms, and I appreciate all the donations. Let's get right on to the show. And every now and then, I'm going to stop the show because we can't continue the show if the air fryer is at 200 degrees. We need the air fryer to go all the way up to about 375. Okay? And your contributions help us do that. All right? Now, I played an excerpt of what you heard when you first got here, some of you. That was the interview, 2 different interviews, and I condensed them to combine them to edit them with Victor Conti, and then one interview I did with the founder of Vada, Dr. Margaret Goodman. And we saw there was a contradiction because all this time we kept hearing Victor Conti tell us here on this platform, stringent. Vada has the most stringent testing. Stringent. But of course, when I asked the founder and CEO and president of Vada about this word stringent, she had no idea what I was talking about. And they were her words and not mine. The reason why I'm prefacing this show with this, because we have 2 dynamics going on. We have Devin Haney pulling up on Ryan Garcia when they were all in the UK over the weekend. And then we have Ryan Garcia stating that he doesn't trust Vada. He doesn't want to do anything associated with Vada. Matter of fact, here's his tweet right here on your screen. Ryan Garcia said on January the 12th of this year, he posted this on X, formerly known as Twitter. These are the words of Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia says, you can smell the desperate. Y'all wonder why I'm quiet? Because I'm being sued. They are the real P words. Punks, I'll say. Trying to act like I ducked any smoke after I've already whooped him. He's referring to Devin Haney. And I am being drug tested, just not by Vada. So everything they said is lies, and more lies. Those were the words of Ryan Garcia, who tweeted that over the weekend. And this is after he encountered Bill and Devin Haney as they were, looking on while Ryan Garcia was getting into, I don't know if that was his security detail, and then he was with another woman. I don't know if that was his lady or his wife or whatever. But he was with a few members of his entourage getting into a weighted limousine service that was prepared to drive him off. But as he was walking to it, Devin Haney and his dad and their team was standing there. And of course, we heard Bill Haney in the background talking about Ryan Garcia, don't hide. and just probably trying to heckle Ryan Garcia to engage him. And so this was the response that Ryan Garcia gave. And now, with that being said, I have a response to all of the super chats that we just got, and I have to double salute my guy, Matthew Thomas, supervisor of the Roll the Tape film crew, day one supporter of the channel as a member, and he's always calling me the teacher, and I love this guy. This is my man, Pots and Pans. Thank you for your contribution and your support to the channel, Matt. Matt says, gas money, let's go. You better believe it, as the air fryer is warming up. And speaking of the air fryer warming up, that's now at 250 degrees, because my guy, another supporter of the channel, day one supporter, supervisor of the Roll the Tape film crew, and my friend, my guy, double salute, Lucky McKinnell's. And of course, in the super chat, he says, air fryer now at 250. Thank you again for your contribution and your support to the channel, Lucky. I appreciate you so very, very much. Double salute to another member of the channel, supervisor of the Roll the Tape film crew, Mr. Altruistic. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for your contribution and your support. Mr. Altruistic says in the super chat, turn the temperature up. I'm hungry. I need my plate ASAP. And you know what, Mr. Altruistic? Because you said that, and you supported this channel, and you constantly support this channel as a member every month, I'm going to do something for you because you want me to turn the temperature up, and you hungry, and you need your plate ASAP. I'm going to work my show from the back to the front. See, I'm trying to build up somewhere, but no. I'm going to do something for my guy right now. I'm going to work it from the back to the front. That's what I'm going to do, because I want you to eat. I want you to get your plate ASAP, because you ain't going to find this food nowhere else. And that's why I'm glad you're here. Thank you again, Mr. Altruistic. And another one of my day one supporters. He's a member of the channel. He might have to renew his membership. That's why you don't see the logo next to his name, but he's going to take care of all of that. My God, double salute to Andre Noble. Thank you for your super chat, Andre Noble, your contribution and your support to the channel. And you see it on your screen. Andre Noble said, cook. And I'm going to do something for Andre, Mr. Altruistic, Matt, Lucky, and Ty, because they have contributed. And I know we have more contributions coming our way to turn the air fryer up, just like my guy. I like when he come through here. Double salute with the super sticker, Robert Jones. Thank you for your contribution and your support to the channel. Man, I love this. Man, guess what? I'm going to turn this show from the back to the front because, man, they supporting me. And you know what? Who this right here? Oh, Omega Red. Double salute to my guy, Omega Red. But no, it's the guy. Oh, P Flame here? Oh, I'm really about to. Hey, P Flame and Omega, it's over now. I'm working the show from the back to the front now. I was trying to build it up. You know, we got enough super chats with the air fryers at 375. We got to get the air fryer to 500. We at 375 degrees now. Ooh-wee. Who in it? Edwin Torres. I love Edwin Torres. He comes over here and he throws shots at me all day long, and I love it. He says, Walmart manager, at it again. Hey, Edwin, I am a Walmart manager, and I'm a manager at Target. But, Edwin, I hope I can use you as a reference, because I put in my application to be the manager at Chick-fil-A. And I hope I can finally convince them to open on Sundays, because you and the rest of these Devin Haney fans, every time y'all talk with Bill Haney, Victor, Rachel, and the rest of them over there that represent Snack, it's like every time y'all talk, y'all convince all of us to believe that Chick-fil-A is actually open on a Sunday, and we can pull up in the drive-thru and get a Chick-fil-A sandwich with Chick-fil-A sauce on a Sunday. Every time I hear y'all talk. Let's work the show from the back to the front now. Now, speaking of Snack, I'm going to show y'all something. Look on your screen right now, because Ryan Garcia said he's not being tested through Vada. Okay? And don't get mad at Ryan. I believe me personally, I believe that those small traces of ostarine that was in his system, this is what I believe based on my research that I conducted. I believe that Ryan Garcia's supplements that he took was contaminated. That's what I believe. I'll leave it up to the experts whether he intentionally cheated or not. I'm not an expert of doping. I mean, I know somebody that is. His name is Victor, and we're gonna get to him in a couple of seconds. But all I'm saying is that we've been seeing a lot of capping going on for the last 2 weeks. Double salute to my guy, JSir72. And double salute to my guy, Andre Smith, both members of the channel, supervisors of the Roller Tape Film Crew. This is going to be a fire show. I told myself I was only going to be an hour. You know, I always tell myself and, you know, a significant other, I'm going to be an hour. I'm only going to be an hour. I'm only going to be 45 minutes. And then I get on here and I see my family here. And I'll be like 2 hours and 3 hours. And I don't know, yo. We don't have a time limit. I got to disseminate this education, man. We got the family here today, right? Check this out. Ryan Garcia is skeptical of Vada. Okay? So he did say, I'm going to pull his tweet up for the new audience that's here. Grab your plate now. I'm about to start serving food now. The air fryer is only at $375. We got to get up to $500. We have to give it up. We got come on. We need more super chats and supports. And we also take cash apps. By the way, let me go ahead and put that on the screen right now while I'm plugging myself in. But Ryan Garcia said, these are his words, not mine. It's on your screen right there. He said at the bottom of the page, is right there, last paragraph, he says, and I am being drug tested, not by Vada. So everything they said is lies, lies, and more lies. Ryan Garcia is skeptical of Vada, y'all. Okay? And a lot of other people are skeptical of Vada testing. And I don't blame them. And I think one of the reasons why people are skeptical is because of what happened to Ryan Garcia. Some people believe that there's something that, you know, happened that was shady, not with Vada per se, but just through the whole entire process. But not only that, just in the last 2 weeks alone, we've been seeing some questionable things happen with Vada and Snack. And I have to ask, and I have to say this. Omega Red said something in the chat, and I just put it on your screen, and we're going to break this down. I wonder, do all Snack fighters only use Vada? Yes. Omega Red, that's a resounding yes. All Snack fighters use only Vada. They don't use any other testing agency. Only Vada. Okay? And so here's the thing, right? We have to deal with this. A lot of people are skeptical about Vada testing. Not only that, but a lot of people are even more skeptical now that now that I've exposed the fact, and I'll say it again now, that 365 24/7 testing through Vada is a hoax. It's fake news. All right? All right? Some of y'all that missed my live last week, I'm about to spin the block on y'all because I'm working the show from the back to the front just for y'all being here early in the morning with me. And I appreciate all of your time. Now, we're going to deal with it on so many different fronts. I don't even know where to start. How about I start here? Let's start. Let me see. Okay, let's start with Vada's tweet. Okay, we're going to start with their tweet. Here it is right here. Boom. Y'all remember this from last week? Huh? Y'all remember this from 2 weeks ago? So almost 2 weeks ago? I'm going to read it for y'all that might be driving, maybe at work, maybe preoccupied, and you're just hearing the audio of this live broadcast, or you're watching the replay of this live, and you are not watching the screen. I'm going to read it. Excuse me. This is from vadatesting.org. This is Vada Testing's X, formerly known as Twitter account. And this is what they tweeted on January the 2nd, 2025 at 3:15 p.m. Vada Testing welcomes real Devin Haney to our 24/7 365 program that will extend to January the 2nd, 2026. Y'all see that? Let me read that again for the people that's in the back of the classroom sleep with their head down. Vada Testing welcomes the real Devin Haney to our 24/7, 365 program that will extend to January the 2nd, 2026. Vada published this tweet on January the 2nd, 2025. And it doesn't stop there. Victor Conti, several hours after Vada tweeted that on January the 2nd, 2025, here is what Victor Conti tweeted. Devin Haney is the only pro boxer in the world doing 24/7, 365 drug testing. Hopefully, more boxers will be willing to do year-round testing and provide leadership for the clean boxing movement. Those were the words of Victor Conti on January the 2nd, 2025, a few hours after Vada tweeted on January 2nd, 2025 at 3:15 p.m. Now, personally speaking, I am totally convinced that the reason why Vada tweeted that on January the 2nd of 2025 and the reason why Victor Conti replied and he responded following up with that tweet on January 2nd, 2025 is because on December the 31st, nearly 3 days prior to both of them tweeting on X, formerly known as Twitter, I actually did a recap of a few excerpts of a live interview that I conducted with Victor Conti. And in this, and you see it on your screen right here, where I circled it for you. I did the homework for you so that you can see that on December the 31st, 2024, when I published a recap of this interview that I conducted with Victor Conti in December of 2023, I actually exposed the fact that 365 24/7 testing through Vada is a hoax and fake news. And then their response, and in Victor Conti's response to this video right here, that educated content creators who actually responded to this video, my video right here, and even fans all across the world, when I came out publicly and said that 365 24/7 testing through Vada is a hoax and fake news, that's when Vada came out 2 to 3 days later. That's when Victor Conti came out 2 to 3 days later, and they came out with those tweets. Okay? All right? Now, Vada said that Devin Haney is now a part of their, and you see it on your screen, it says, we welcome Devin Haney to our 24/7, 365 program that will extend to January 2nd, 2026. And then right after they tweeted that, they actually put this on their website. They updated their website. Y'all see it? Y'all see it? It's updated on the website now. Look under the date where it says November 19, 2024. Look under the date. Look at it. You see what that says? I'm going to read it for you if you can. It says year-round enrolled fighters. So now they're publicizing that Devin Haney is a year-round enrolled fighter. He's a 24/7, 365 tester through Vada. But the problem I have with that is that if Vada updates their website for people to become year-round enrolled fighters, then how come, look at your screen now, go on and look at it. Let me take off this, now y'all can see the bottom of your screen. Go and look at it. How come when Devin Haney tested for the Ryan Garcia fight, which is what you see on your screen, they didn't say that he was year-round tested then in June 1st of 2024. But his dad was running around before that saying he was 365, 24/7 testing. And then before that, Victor Conti was here and he told all of us that he's having a difficult time with getting his own snack fighters to enroll in 365, 24/7 testing. But now all of a sudden, that manager Marty, the manager at Walmart, the manager at Target, and soon to be the manager at Chick-fil-A, Manager Marty, comes out and exposes the fact that there's no such thing as 24/7, 365 testing through Vada. And it never was. Yeah, I said it, and can't nobody refute it with evidence like I can. See, you can't refute truth. It's either something's true or it's a lie. And so what I'm trying to figure out is, why is Vada, a testing agency who averages a minimum of $838,000 per year, and don't say they don't, because you know I got the proof and evidence of that too. But why would a company who averaged about over $1 million in profit a few years ago, why is this $1 million organization publicizing 24/7, 365 testing by saying he's enrolled in our program when they don't even have a program? Now, somebody might say, Manager Marty, I wasn't here last week. I wasn't here a week and a half ago. So what evidence do you have to substantiate that? I'm so glad that you asked me that question, because the only evidence that I have, and you can go look at their website this morning and it's still up there. And if you don't want to look at it this morning, go on and look at your screen right now. You won't find anything about 24/7, 365 testing on Vada's website. What program are they talking about that Devin Haney's enrolled in until January 2nd, 2026? But what you will find on their website, and I got their website right at the top of this screenshot. There it is right there. Nobody can lie on me and say I did a Photoshop. Let's read it together again, class. It's already highlighted for you. I did the homework. Professional athletes will volunteer to be subject to unannounced testing at any time during the 8 weeks prior to a scheduled fight. Does it say anything about 24/7, 365? I'll wait. Nope, it doesn't. Now, somebody, again, might come out and say, Manager Marty, that's old news. That website been up for years. That's been up for a long time. Show me some more evidence of something more recent that will substantiate your claim. Double salute to my guy, Fanned Up. He's a supervisor of the Roller Tape Film Crew and a member of the channel. And I appreciate him being here in Seattle. And I didn't know this, but thank you, Band Up, for telling me this in the chat, that in Seattle it's 7:52 in the morning. And the member of the channel, Band Up, is here with us early in the morning. Now, somebody might say, well, Manager Marty, where else can you show us? What other pieces of evidentiary documentation do you have to prove to us that 365, 24/7 testing through Vada is a hoax and fake news? Because even though I see it on their website where it states that unannounced testing will occur at any time during the 8 weeks prior to a scheduled fight, they're not good enough. I can't wait till Boxing Hacker hear this. I can't wait till Jake Brumfield hear this. I can't wait till the Haneys hear it. I can't wait till Victor hears this. I can't wait till any of my spies, haters, and detractors hear this. I can't wait, because you all missed this when I interviewed Margaret Goodman. Doctor, excuse me, I ain't gonna disrespect that lady. Doctor. She's the only doctor that's involved in this equation. Because Victor Conti ain't no doctor. I done told y'all that about a phone booth. But Dr. Margaret Goodman, she told us about the 8 weeks or 2 months prior to a fight. And some of you missed it. Let me roll the tape back when I interviewed Margaret Goodman. And remember, I was talking about stringent testing. Because, you know, Victor Conti was talking about stringent, and all that, right? All right. So let's hear what she told us about the testing procedures with Vada when I asked her about stringent testing and stringent, according to Victor Conti, what he told us, stringent, quote unquote, let me do two hands, quote unquote, stringent Vada testing means once every 10 days. Remember he kept telling us that? Well, let's hear what Margaret Goodman said when I asked her about stringent, because Victor Conti kept telling us that. Hold on one second. Let me roll the tape. All right, I have it queued up now. All right, I have it queued up because somebody might say, well, where the rest of the evidence at? Their website, that they don't prove nothing just because they say on their website that the only time they test athletes is only 8 weeks prior to when they fight, not 24/7, 365 testing. What else evidence do you have, Manager Martin? Okay, hold on, I have it queued up. Hold on. Roll the tape.
So there's a word that's been floating around here on this podcast, and it's been floating around on Twitter, or X, formerly known as Twitter, and that is the word that's always mentioned, not by you, Margaret, but by other people who promote Vada and fighters, and that word is stringent. We were told here, right here live on this podcast, that the word stringent testing or stringent means once every 10 days. Can you confirm what the stringent testing and Vada testing means, stringent?
Gosh, I don't know. I've never heard anything mentioned in that regard. Basically, sometimes we'll test someone 2 days in a row. It just depends on the program for that specific athlete. Usually what happens is the promotional entity will give us a budget. And so depending on the budget, you kind of now a little bit know the average cost. And that's, I gave you a cost without the doping collection officer that has to travel there. But on the average, if it's a fight, you know, let's say if a fighter enrolls in our program 2 months before a fight, they may be tested 6 times, they may be tested 9 times, they may be tested 5 or 4 times. It just depends. But it may not be on an every 10-day basis, because then that kind of defeats the purpose. Then they know every 10 days they got to stop something so they don't test positive for it.
Did y'all hear that? I just want to make sure my testing 1 2 1 2. I just want to make sure my audio work. Check 1, check 2. Y'all know I rap, right? Mic check 1 2 1 2. Is this thing? Hello? Can y'all hear the audio in that? Can I get a mic check from somebody, please? I just need one person in the super chat or a chat to just say yes. Either way, super chat or in the regular chat. Can somebody confirm whether y'all heard the audio of Dr. Margaret Goodman, the CEO, president, and founder of Vada? Did y'all hear that? Thank you, CC. I appreciate you so much, CC. Oh, CC, thank you, sweetheart, for participating. Boxing Hacker said yes, he heard that. Thank you, Boxing Hacker. I appreciate that. Okay, so Steve, my guy Steve here. My man Steve is here. So y'all heard that, right? So we don't know who to believe. See, the point I'm trying to get at is, this is why people are skeptical. No more sleepwalking. This is why they're skeptical, band up. Steve, they're skeptical of Vada because Victor Conti tell us one thing, and then Margaret Goodman tell us something else. Victor Conti says the most stringent Vada testing is once every 10 days where the athlete will be tested. Stringent. And then when I asked the CEO president of Vada, she said, I don't know what is stringent. I've never even heard the word before. And she gave an example. And she even said it better than I did. She said, well, if the athletes knew that they would be tested once every 10 days, which is considered quote unquote stringent, then that would mean that would defeat the whole purpose of the system of testing, because then the athlete would know when to taper on and taper off, and they won't test positive for a banned substance, right? Okay, now let me get to the part where I think everybody missed. In her example, she gave the reference to when fighters get tested. I'm going to play the last part again. It's only the last 10 to 15 seconds because I think most of you missed it. And what I want to do, I'm going to put this on your screen. So when you hear her talking, you can read the highlighted version of what she just said. Hold on. Don't take my word for it. Roll the tape.
That has to travel there, but on the average, if it's a fight, let's say if a fighter enrolls in our program 2 months before a fight,
Did y'all hear that? She said in her example, let's say a fighter enrolls into our program 2 months before a fight. What is the equivalent of 2 months? Let's see if we have the chat here to engage. How many weeks is equivalent to 2 months on a calendar? Can somebody in the chat tell me? Thank you. Todd and told us she broke the code. We have some smart people in the chat. No more sleeping told us. Omega Red told us. I have the most intelligent members of the chat all over YouTube. 8 weeks is equivalent to 2 months. So then, if that's the case, in her own example, I gotta play it again because I interviewed her in March of 2024. Thank you, G. 8 weeks for G. I'm gonna play that last part again. I get chill bumps down my spine when I hear her say 2 months. Hold on.
without the doping collection officer that has to travel there, but on the average, if it's a fight, let's say if a fighter enrolls in our program 2 months before a fight, they may be tested 6 times.
All right, we heard enough. Let's say a fighter enrolls in our program 2 months before a fight, right? But look at Vada's website. Go on and look at it. The website tells you unannounced testing at any time during the 8 weeks prior to a scheduled fight. This is what Vada's website says, even to this day. And when Dr. Margaret Goodman was here, she used an example of, on average, boxers or MMA fighters are tested 8 weeks, she said 2 months, prior to a scheduled fight. See, this been going on with Vada since they got here. This is just, Vada didn't say, well, we've been doing 24/7, 365 testing since we started, and we switched it up and changed our policies to fighters being, fighters meaning boxers and or MMA fighters, being tested 8 weeks prior to a fight. No, they always been tested 8 weeks prior to a fight. Don't get mad at me. I just pointed this out because we heard Margaret Goodman tell us that Vada doesn't have out of competition testing. We heard that, right? Remember we heard that? That's what, hey, that what she told us, right? Roll the tape.
So since you mentioned all year round testing, I'll just jump right there first. Most people consider it 365, 24/7 testing, right? So it should be.
Stop. I said most people call it 365, 24/7 testing. And the CEO, president, and founder of Vada herself said it should be. Well, if it should be, then that means it's not through Vada, correct? Let me continue on.
365, 24/7 testing. When was the first time that 365, 24/7 testing actually happened in boxing?
You know, it only, well, there's two ways to look at it.
Stop. I asked her, when was the first time 365, 24/7 testing was administered through Vada? And she told me it's two ways to look at it. She about to give me one of the ways here. Listen.
Nonito Donaire was the first fighter that we ever had that underwent testing in that way.
Interesting.
So when you say out of competition, I've heard you mention that earlier. Out of competition is basically when the fighters or athletes in general are not competing. Maybe they're in training, maybe they don't have a fight scheduled as of yet. Is that out of competition? Is that the meaning of that?
Stop. I told her what out of competition testing means. All of you here today that are educated by what I taught y'all last week and a week and a half ago, we know what out of competition testing means, correct? Okay, I've already just spit it out to you. And I spit it out to the founder, CEO, and president of Vada. And let's hear what she had to say after that.
That's the meaning of it for all sports that are enrolled in testing.
That's the meaning of it. The meaning that I just gave her is the meaning of out of competition testing, and that's for all sports that are enrolled in anti-doping testing. Let us continue.
Whether it's, track and field or whatever. But what Vada has is Vada doesn't have out of competition testing.
Stop. Vada doesn't have out of competition testing. Right? Out of competition testing, when athletes are not competing 8 weeks before a fight, 12 weeks before a fight, when they don't even have a fight scheduled at all, they're not even on the calendar for a fight for that particular year. They're vacationing with their family. They're just relaxing. They're taking a break from boxing. There is no out of competition testing through Vada, and it never was. So the question becomes, who do we believe? Do we believe the CEO, president, and founder of Vada by telling us that a fighter enrolled in our testing program 2 months before a fight? Do we believe Vada's website that tells us that professional athletes, is on your screen, professional athletes will volunteer to be subject to unannounced testing at any time during the 8 weeks prior to a scheduled fight? Do we believe that? Do we believe Dr. Margaret Goodman? Or do we believe this tweet that was put out on January the 2nd that Devin Haney enrolled and is welcome to their 24/7 365 program that will extend to January 2nd, 2026? Which one is it? Because the website still never states that Vada performs 365 24/7 testing. It only states what it's been stating since it got here for the last 12 to 13 years. They only test athletes 2 months 8 weeks prior to a fight, at minimum, on average. These are the words of the CEO and president of Vada. That's what she told us. That's what she told me. She just told us and told me Vada doesn't have out-of-competition testing. So once again, who do we believe? Do we believe that Vada is only testing athletes 8 weeks prior to a fight, 2 months on average before they fight? Do we believe their website? Do we believe the founder when she says that Vada doesn't have out-of-competition testing? Or do we believe others? I would rather believe Dr. Margaret Goodman when she told me and told us, and y'all just heard her, a fighter enrolls 2 months before they fight. I'd rather believe Vada's website that doesn't state anything about 365 24/7 testing that they administer or facilitate. But their website does state that unannounced testing is performed 8 weeks prior to a fight. And I also believe Dr. Margaret Goodman, the CEO, president, and founder of Vada, who states that Vada doesn't have out-of-competition testing. I'd rather believe that because that's more consistent of what Vada have been doing since it got here. Since Vada was established as an organization, that's what they always have been doing. No out-of-competition testing and only testing 8 weeks prior to a fight. So, if we believe Vada, if we believe Dr. Margaret Goodman, if we believe their very own website, then why is Vada tweeting this on January the 2nd when they know they don't have no 24/7, 365 program? Why is Victor Conti tweeting this? Why is he tweeting this? Saying that Devin Haney is the only pro boxer in the world doing 24/7, 365 drug testing when Victor knows Vada doesn't have out-of-competition testing and they only being tested 8 weeks prior to a fight and they're not getting 365, 24/7 testing. Why are they saying that? Why? And another question I have. Look on your screen, I got something for you. I asked Dr. Margaret Goodman, and y'all just heard me ask her this. When was the first time 24/7, 365 testing was administered through Vada? And she told me no Nito Donaire. There you go on your screen. You probably can't see me circled and highlight the date, but that's June, was that 18th? Yeah, June 18th, 2012. Y'all see where I got this from, right? I've been had this, but I figured I'd let y'all see it. Y'all see where I got this from, right? Go on and look at your screen. I got this from snack.com, Victor Conti's company website. Remember this report, y'all, in 2012 that was published on snack.com, where it's been widely publicized that Nonito Donaire goes all the way in with 24/7, 365 Vada testing. Y'all remember that? Look at a piece of the article on your screen. Here you go. Let's read it together, class. Donaire will be subject to testing by Vada year-round. That's 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, no matter where he is in the world. If World Anti-Doping Agency approved sample collectors knock on Donaire's door, he must give them a blood and urine sample. Well, how is that possible? I done cracked this case wide open. How is that possible that Nonito Donaire was subject to 365 24/7 testing through Vada when Vada doesn't and never had out of competition testing, and they only test 8 weeks prior to a fight? We need answers. See, I'm still waiting for that question to be answered. Don't let Rachel Donaire bamboozle you and lie to you all again. She lied on me 8 times. I counted in them 2 lives I did on that, where she tried to make it seem like we had a problem or there was an issue between us because she called me one day and I didn't answer her phone call. Come on, y'all. Come on. I've already proved to y'all why she lied on me and disrespected me and my son, little Marty. But the bottom line is I'm still trying to wait for the answer because I asked a question about the paperwork. And I'm still waiting for the answers. How was Nonito Donaire 365 24/7 tested through Vada when Vada doesn't have out of competition testing? When they only test 8 weeks prior to a fight? How? How is Devin Haney welcome to 24/7 365 program with Vada when they don't even have a 24/7 365 program with Vada? Another question I have, how can Victor Conti tweet that Devin Haney is the only pro boxer in the world doing 24/7 365 drug testing through Vada when they don't even have a program to do it? And I have another question. I have to take my glasses off to say this. How come the only 2 boxers that supposedly and allegedly was subject to 365 24/7 testing through Vada were all associated with Victor Conti? In 2012, go on and look at your screen again. Ty, stay right there, Ty. Sweetheart, I'm going to let you on. Stay right there in the background. I got you. Go and look at your screen real quick. Please, just go and look at your screen now. Snack. Nonito Donaire was on the snack protocol in his fights with Victor Conti. And now Devin Haney is allegedly, supposedly, year-round enrolled tested now with Vada. And Devin Haney is with Victor Conti in the snack protocol. Huh? Nonito Donaire, and now Devin Haney. Nonito Donaire in 2012, and now Devin Haney now in 2025. Both of these fighters were the only boxers in the history of the sport, including Edwin Rodriguez, according to what Victor Conti told us, that he sponsored them 2 fighters, Edwin Rodriguez and Nonito. Remember he told us that? How come the only 2 fighters that's enrolled and has been publicly acknowledged that they was enrolled in 365 24/7 testing through Vada, both of them are associated with Victor Conti and his snack protocol? I'm just asking questions that need to be answered. Double salute to Boxing Hacker. Thank you for your contribution and your support to the channel in the super chat. Boxing Hacker said, Vada stated on their official Twitter that 365 testing exists. Why not just ask them for information on that page? This is not proof of anything. Why do I got to go to Twitter to ask Vada any questions, Boxing Hacker, when all I got to do is refer to their website that states nothing about 365 testing? But look at your screen again, Boxing Hacker. This is what their website does actually state. Here you go, look at it. Professional athletes will volunteer to be subject to unannounced testing at any time during the 8 weeks prior to a scheduled fight. I have to go on Vada's Twitter account and ask them this question for answers they already know, I got to go on Victor Conti Twitter account and ask him a question for answers he already know? Where they do this at, y'all? I know you a Devin Haney supporter and Bill Haney supporter, boxing hacker, but you can't tell me that what I'm showing you is a lie. Everything I've said thus far makes sense. Double salute to my homegirl, Ty. Thank you for the super chat, Ty. And matter of fact, I'm going to bring Ty on so I can read it and publish it right here with her so she can be officially and formally acknowledged. Ty
Can you hear me?
Yeah, Ty, what's going on, sweetheart? You told me to cook.
Yeah. No, so okay, since you've already like debunked this whole 365 24/7, what do you think the reason is that they're pushing this narrative?
You really want the answer to that question, Ty?
I mean, yeah, I'm very curious because it's like I see it all over. Bill is just regurgitating this left and right. So, I mean, I'm trying to figure out what are they getting out of this?
Well, what is happening right now, Ty? And first, let me welcome you for being on the show for the first time. We welcome everybody's perspective. Thank you for joining. Thank you for supporting the channel. I can tell you this to your face now. Thank you for the super chat that you just put up there, and the super chat that you gave and contributed earlier. Let me answer your question directly. What's happening is they're doing damage control. Okay? None of this would have happened. None of this. In other words, when I say none of this, let me be more specific. So if I wouldn't have came out and said 365 24/7 testing through Vada is a hoax, it's fake news, and then pointed out their website, and then pointed out where Devin Haney announced that he's coming back to fight in March. He said that last week. That was his response. So from January to March, that's 2 months right there. So they are the ones that's saying all of these things about when they're fighting. The website on Vada states 8 weeks prior to a fight. I'm the one that cracked the case wide open and told people that that's fake news because they do test 8 weeks prior to a fight. That's all they do. And I played the tape and audio of me interviewing Dr. Margaret Goodman, the president and CEO of Vada, where she said herself, and I just replayed it again, and I'm sure you heard it, Vada doesn't have out-of-competition testing. We know what out-of-competition testing is. I've already educated everybody on that. And so now that the cat is out the bag, they're doing damage control. Because right now their image and reputation is being questioned because of the things that I have published.
Okay, so but then if they're going to continue with this narrative, and then I was watching also the show you said previously, why hasn't Bud been tested in 3 years?
And that's the question I'm still waiting to get answered. Terence Crawford has not officially been acknowledged by Vada's website since November of 2020. And I told Victor Conti that when he was here. And I've already proven it before he got here. And guess what? His last 3 fights before he fought Madrimov, he was associated with the guy who claims that everybody comes to him, Victor Conti, to help them enroll in testing. And I'm about to play an audio of that in just a few seconds. But when I asked him about Terence Crawford getting tested with David Evanesian, where he, knocked out David Evanesian with 1 punch, cold, unconscious, something he's never done, there was limited testing. There was no testing when Sean Porter and Terence Crawford got, when they fought each other, and they both had the they both had the snack logo on their trunks, both working with Victor Conti. You see where I'm going with this, Ty?
Yeah, and I just find it interesting too because even though he beat Earl, it just looked like they were levels apart, and that just wasn't normal to me.
They were levels apart. You had one guy who wasn't 100% in Errol Spence, and you had another guy in Terence Crawford who was 1,000%.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's crazy.
And guess what? I told people at the fight, when I was there, I had a very close view. I was there at the fight. And I'll give you a reference, Ty, because you probably wasn't on the channel when I pointed this out. When after the fight happened, BFTB. Now, he lied on me And he also lied and said he never asked me to take a picture with him. So sometimes he can't be credible. But it is one thing that he will tell you the truth about, hopefully. He was sitting 3 seats away from me when Terence Crawford knocked down Errol Spence. I looked, and I don't know BFTB at all. I don't know him personally, but he was a content creator that was there. And I looked at him. And as soon as Terence Crawford knocked Errol Spence down in the second round, I looked at BFTB. Let me take my glasses off for people that don't believe. I said, he's suspicious. First thing I said, Bud's suspicious. He said, huh? We kept watching the fight. Bud knocks Errol Spence down again. I looked at BFTB again. I said, his performance is enhanced. BFTB said, why you say that, man? Then all of a sudden then Bud knocked Errol Spence down again. He gets up, Harvey Dock stops the fight. I looked at BFTB for a third time and I said, I told you his performance is enhanced. And I got up and I walked out. The bottom line is I have a 15-year head start on Victor Conti, Alex Ariza, Memo Heredia, Bill Haney, Dr. Margaret Goodman. They all know. And I'm going to probably get some merchandise that say this because we got a guy, and I'm going to point this out next in the next couple of days, but we got a guy named Punch Drunk Boxing. He has regurgitated my saying. They know I know. And so with that being said, because they know I know, this is all damage control. Ty, let me say this. If there was another content creator that pointed all of this out and people wasn't listening and people wasn't taking in the information, dissecting it and regurgitating it from what I've been saying, if it wasn't me, if it is a regular content creator that did this, Victor Conti wouldn't say nothing, Bill Haney wouldn't say nothing, and Dr. Margaret Goodman and Vada, they wouldn't say a word. Because they would say, oh, that's just a YouTuber talking. They just speculating. But they can't refute somebody who's actively involved in this business for years. They know I'm credible. So they have to go and do damage control and respond because I'm the one saying it. Because think about it like this, Ty, and I have to say this, and we got Band Up want to join too, but let me say this. Think about this. Every time I mention something about Snack, every time I mention something about Victor Conti, and I didn't notice at the beginning, y'all, and I got people in my chat that was here with me when all this was going down a year and a half ago. Every time I mention something about Victor Conti or Snack or Vada testing, and I didn't notice this up front. Rachel Donier, she was here on my panel, and I thought we were cool. But then when I start seeing a change up, after I start asking about the paperwork, for them to prove that Nonito is 365 24/7 testing when Vada themselves say they don't test when fighters are out of competition. I need to see the paperwork since we cool like that. That's when all of the problems starting to happen with me and Rachel. But Rachel was coming up here only when Victor's name was mentioned, only when Vada's name was mentioned, only when Snack was mentioned from me. And now I figured out why. So I'm still waiting for the paperwork. If Nonito Donier, according to the Snack website, if he was the one subject by Vada to be tested all year round, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, and he was the only fighter at that time to be tested through Vada, 365 24/7 testing, then where's the paperwork? We can't keep going by hearsay in 2025 anymore. We heard enough hearsay. Where is the evidentiary documentation to substantiate these claims? See, it's because it's coming from me, Ty. If it was coming from somebody else, everybody would sweep it under the rug. But me, a person that can get on the phone and make a phone call and push a button in boxing, that's why they're doing damage control now. I hope I answered your question. I get it animated, Ty, but this is just, I'm passionate about this.
No, you definitely did answer my question. And then the other thing is, who do they expect to pay for this? Like, are they going to pay for it? The fighters have to pay for it. Some of these fighters don't make enough to pay for 365 testing, especially if they don't have a fight schedule.
Well, that's a good question. According to what Dr. Margaret Goodman told me and told all of us when she was here in March, she told, I already knew the answer, but I asked questions that y'all might need to hear the answers to. But the promoters, Ty, they are responsible. And this is how you know excuse me, this is how you know that Vada was on an up and up on their website when they say that athletes are tested 8 weeks prior to their fight. Well, duh, the promoter who's promoting the fight will be the ones on the hook to pay for the testing because they test 8 weeks prior to a fight. Who's gonna pay for the testing when it's 365 24/7? When, like you just said, Ty, the fighters probably can't afford it at $1,700 per test. All right, then. That's the only way Vada can make their money besides donations. As a 501c3 tax-exempt organization, they have to get the money from who? The promoter. Well, why would a promoter pay Vada for testing for their fighter when that fighter under their stable is not even competing or have a fight schedule?
Yeah, and then I'm sure they recoup that money from their fighter.
No, they don't. No, they don't. They not with the testing. Because it's all, because I'm gonna tell you like this: the promoter's responsible to pay for testing in general. And I'll give you an example. So let's say two fighters are competing, but they're not enrolled in quote unquote Vada testing, right? Let's say they're fighting in Las Vegas, or let's say they're fighting in the state of California or the state of Nevada. I said Las Vegas, the state of Pennsylvania, right? So the commissions, the athletic commissions, they also undergo testing, but it's not as strenuous as anti-doping agency testing, because anti-doping agency testing like Vada, Usada, right? They use WADA accredited labs. There's a specific type of testing that those accredited labs are credentialed and qualified by WADA to use those methods. Because if you go through an athletic commission and get tested, like your urine, like fighters get tested sometimes a day before or a day after a fight. Well, there's certain performance enhancing drugs that won't show up in the urine of an athlete. So that's why the testing labs, they have a method, called carbon isotope mass spectrometry, okay, that tests for, let's say, levels of testosterone. Well, when the commissions extract the urine or administer the testing through the athletic commissions, they don't have that capability. They don't have the manpower and resources. And the promoter is the one that have to pay for the medical exams or physicals and the drug testing through the commission. You understand what I mean, Ty?
Yeah, so I guess then my next question is about what you said earlier about Ryan. He doesn't want to use Vada. What else can they use? Is there another accredited?
Yes, that's a good question, Ty. They can use Usada, the same testing agency that Floyd Mayweather used for all of his professional fights when he was coming out of boxing, his last 10 fights, when he signed that deal with Showtime. And this is the reason why I encourage people to use Usada over Vada, because Usada, the only other outfit besides Vada, they're the only ones in the United States that perform in competition testing and out of competition testing. You see the difference, Ty?
You said that's Usada?
Yes, ma'am. Okay. Usada, and they do that for the Olympic athletes. But here in America, they're for profit, by the way, they are the ones that test athletes in competition and out of competition, where Vada only tests 8 weeks prior to a fight. You see the difference, Ty?
Yeah.
So let me ask you this question, and I got people on the panel. I'm spinning around it up.
Yeah, you can go ahead.
What agency is more likely to catch more athletes who are doping when fighters are not competing? Usada or Vada?
Didn't Usada catch Victor?
Hold on for a minute. Hold on for a minute, 2 cents. I got you. Hold on for a minute. Ty, did you hear my question?
I said Usada, right?
Thank you. But who is associated with Vada?
Victor.
And who's associated with Victor? The athletes, right?
Devin, yeah.
Bingo.
Bud.
And guess what? And let me take my glasses off just in case any of them watching. and you ain't gonna find another snack fighter. You ain't gonna find none of them. You ain't gonna find none of them fail their tests. You ain't gonna find them. And that's real.
That's wild to me.
Hey, who we got up here real quick? Hey, yo, what's up? We got Dean. Yo, Dean, can you hear me, Dean? I don't know if Dean can hear me, but Band Up, can you hear me, Band Up?
Oh, you know, Band Up is on.
Hey, Band Up, before you speak real quick, right? I'm gonna get these super chats out the way, man. Double salute to my guy. That's my OG, the singing OG. My man. I was just listening to your content yesterday. KQKC Boxing Network. Let me tell y'all something. I like men who stand up firm and become up and down, straight with truth, facts, and evidence, and with integrity. And I gotta say that about my guy, KQKC, man. Thank you for your contribution and your support to the channel, KQ. KQ says in the super chat, salute, Marty. Keep cooking, good brother. You know I am, KQ, as the air fryer is warming up. We at 450 degrees, y'all. We got to get to 500 degrees. Double salute to 2 Cents Boxing. Thank you for your contribution and your support to the channel, 2 Cents. And 2 Cents is a member of the channel and supervisor of the Road to Take film crew. And she's actually back up here real quick. And I want to double salute her for her contribution to the channel. And she asked the question, is Turkey in violation of the Muhammad Ali Act? And I will have to tell you this, 2 Cents Boxing, no. Turkey al-Sheikh is not in violation of the Ali Act, only because he's not operating as a manager and a de facto promoter at the same time. Basically, Turkey al-Sheikh is in charge of house money. And so most of the fighters, not all, but most of the fighters are connected to either a manager and or a professional promoter, right? So he still had to go through the protocol and procedures to allow that promoter to approve the bouts if they have someone exclusively under contract to compete on the Riyadh season card. All right. So I wanted to make sure I answer that question. Deem, are you here?
What's up, Mac Marty 007? What's the deal?
Oh, man, I'm doing great. I'm going to let 2 Cents speak because I think she was trying to say something before she had to jump off. So I'm going to do it like this. Oh, I love this. Man, I told y'all I was supposed to be an hour long, but we're going to rock this thing out, man.
You know it's going to be a little bit more than that, man.
I know. Hold on. We're going to let 2 Cents, and then I'm going to go to Dean, and then I'm going to go to Band Up, all right?
Yeah.
So 2 Cents, 30 seconds. What you got, 2 Cents?
Come back to me. Come back to me, Marty.
All right. Hey, Dean, talk to me, brother. Speak on it.
Hey, first I want to say, man, I appreciate all of y'all. Hey, Ty, I want to say to you, I appreciate your support, how much you be showing love to my channel, showing love to 007. I just want to say I truly, truly appreciate that. I just want to be able to tell you that personally.
You're welcome, Dean. I love your content. You got to go live again. You know what I'm saying? But I love your content. You good?
Oh, I'll be going. Probably go live this Saturday. I've been so busy as far as making these donuts, y'all. All positive stuff, though. It's a bunch of positivity, but things winding down. My schedule getting more together, so I'll be able to get back on track. But you know, that I gotta make it happen for these little girls. You feel me?
I feel you. Good luck.
Hey, man, I wanted to say to y'all, it's something that Mac Marty spoke on a little bit, but this is my whole thing. And we keep letting Mr. Haney get away with this and Devin. I thought they was already enrolled in it. So are they lying now or was they lying then? See, that's
both.
the thing.
They're lying always.
Say it with me, y'all. I let people talk that like to talk. Because you get to see how full of ish they are.
Hey, Dean.
Yes, sir.
Can I answer your question?
Yes, sir.
They was lying then and they lying now.
And you know what's so funny, Manager Marty? Because he was running around saying Devin's already enrolled in 24/7, 365 testing. And then come to find out they not. And this is how I know to not trust Vada. Because they're only doing this. First, Victor Conti said nobody was enrolled in it. Then the chairman and the CEO founder, she said the same thing. Now, all of a sudden, Devin is enrolled in it after saying he was already enrolled in it and how you know he wasn't before because they said it was what, for a year, January 2nd? So that means that he just did that this month. So this whole time prior to that they was saying that they did it, they didn't. Like a bunch of other things they do. All boxers out there do not use Vada, because this goes to show you exactly what I'm talking about. They only did this for Devin Haney and Victor Conte. Why wasn't it? If they were so serious and this was something before, then why wasn't we hearing about other boxers and it being on their website before? When she came up here the first time, why didn't she say, yeah, this is going on a lot. We do have a program for this and this, that, and the third. They said, no, Nito Donaire, the only one that did it. So that's how you know they lying on both ends. And I land my plane here because this is probably the most important part of all of it. All
right, I'm back, y'all.
If Devin and Bill are talking about they're doing 24/7, 365 testing, well, then how do you know the schedule? It doesn't matter if you do 365, 24/7. If Devin and them know when they're going to get tested, it doesn't matter. How would they know that? Because Victor Conte has a great relationship with the founders of Vada. And if they're not testing Devin every day, then why do they call it 24/7, 365 testing? You need to give it another name. I think if you want to call it 24/7, 365 testing, they should get tested every day for a year. Ain't that what it sounds like it should be? I just land my plan there. And then this the other thing, Manager Marty. What does the testing mean if Victor Conte came up on your program and admitted that certain things are undetectable, so it doesn't matter if you tested him 155 times, he would pop up negative? Y'all enjoy it.
Hey,
So that's a good question because I don't understand this.
Yeah, I had a question too, Mario. That's what I want to come up here and ask. So if me and Devin fighting, right, and you want me to enroll in 365 testing, what does that mean? Does that mean we got to negotiate the fight a year in advance so I can get tested all year? What does it mean to be 365 testing? Because Victor Conte is on Twitter talking about Ryan Garcia was only tested 8 weeks before the fight. He wasn't tested the 10 months prior to him having a fight. Nobody's tested 10 months prior to them having a fight. I don't even know why he brought that up. And I don't even know, this is the issue. Let's say Vada is cool. They testing, they doing all of this. But look at the people you have representing Vada. Like, that's what the issue really, really is, if we're honest. Look at the people you have representing Vada. Look at how they're bullying people into, like, it's weird to me. Or am I tripping?
I mean, you're not tripping at all. There's a reason why. Okay? And I have to say this because it's important. The reason why you keep hearing Victor promote Vada, and one of the reasons we already know he helped form it. I mean, I've already proven that last year. But also, it's bringing them credibility. But guess what else it's doing? It's bringing the athletes associated with Victor Conte credibility. See, this whole thing that we're talking about now is about credibility. In other words, if people were suspicious of anything that Victor Conte is doing, he made sure while he was forming Vada that he had a parachute that he can always use so that he can have the credibility to prove to people, I'm a changed man, I'm an anti-doping advocate, I'm not cheating anymore, I'm not dealing steroids anymore, and my athletes are testing negative, and I have a testing agency to back me up.
But you know what? I don't mean to cut you off, but I would have to disagree with that because anybody that knows, Victor's history would automatically look at those people side-eyed. And besides the fact, again, that Bud hasn't tested in 3 years, how can you proclaim that?
Because Victor Conte is giving them something that they can't get from anywhere else. I mean, you think about it like this, Ty. If what you're saying is factual, that they already know this information, even though they know that people are looking at Victor Conte side eye, then why did Terence Crawford call him? Why did Caleb Plant call him? Why did Demetrius Andrade call him? Why did Devin Haney and Bill Haney call him? Why did Sean Porter call him with his dad, Kenny Porter? The list goes on. Why did Bam Bam Rodriguez call him? Why did Julian J. Rock Williams and Breadman call him? Why is Robert Garcia and Mikey Garcia and the rest of those guys over in California? Why did Andre Ward and Virgil Hunter call him? Why did Andre Berto call? See, the list keep going on and on. If they know that this suspicious cloud is going to follow Victor, why they call him? And Ty, I asked Victor Conte that when he was here. I asked him, and you know what he said? And I'll roll the tape for anybody that's watching that don't believe. Victor Conti told me, he said, the stigma that these athletes will get based on their association with me, apparently they don't think that it's that bad enough. The stigma is obviously worth the risk involved. That's what he told me.
Hey, Manager Marty, this is something else I want to address, though. And Boxing Hacker and every Devin fan out there, I'm going to make a video about this. I got you. I told you. I let y'all talk. If Bill Haney was so willing to lie about his son being tested, Manager Marty has the receipts, if just in case anybody thinking that I'm lying about him lying prior to this, because if he's just enrolling in it now, that means months and months ago when he was claiming he was enrolled in it, he never was.
Yes.
That's number one.
Yes.
Number two is, and Devin himself lied about how much money him and Ryan made and what the fight did and all of these other things. So that leads me to my biggest question. If they can lie about the money they make and lie to the public about what stuff sells and what their market value is, that's one lie. And then they can lie about something as serious as about them being tested and then be with Victor Conti, who tells you that there is things undetectable. I don't want to hear a Devin or a Devin Haney fan sit up there and talk about, well, why y'all suspicious of Devin? You know why we are suspicious? I am suspicious of anybody who blatantly lies, says he made $50 million to fight Ryan Garcia. That's what Devin said, Boxing Hacker, not me. Saying that they already was in 24/7, 365 testing. That's what Bill Haney said, not me, Boxing Hacker. So we done court them in so many lies. Then can I ask y'all this, y'all, to the panel? Then why wouldn't I, if they ethics show that they're willing and their integrity shows that they're willing to lie about the money they make and getting tested? So I'm supposed to believe that them using things behind the counter is beneath them? That's what you want me to believe.
I mean, we know that Bill is a super cap artist, just like when he went on KO's channel and he said that you can't believe the promoters, how much they're being paid, but then you go and say, you an 8-figure blank and all of this. Like, we know he just, he does tongue gymnastics. He talks in circles.
Yep. And speaking of that, I got my guy Band up here. Band Up, are you still there, brother?
Yeah, I'm waiting patiently.
I appreciate that, Band Up. I want to play a clip. It's only going to be 10 seconds, y'all, because this is the point that I keep proving, to echo what Two Cents said, to echo what Dean said, to echo what Ty said, and to echo what some people are saying in the chat. There's a Latin term in the legal community. Falsus in uno, falsus in omnibus. If something that someone says in a court of law, one thing is false, then every other piece of testimony that they say after that has the potential to be false as well. We keep seeing the same characters of the movie lying. And then as soon as I point it out, as soon as I expose truth, I'm the bad guy. So I'm going to show you another lie. This is what I'm proving now. This is why people are skeptical of Vada. This is why they're skeptical of Victor Conti. This is why Ryan Garcia is skeptical of his testing results. This is why he's skeptical of Victor Conti. This is why everybody in the sport of boxing that don't want to acknowledge, they know. I want to play y'all something. It's only going to be about 5 to 10 seconds. That Victor Conti said here. One of the contradictions that he told right in front of my face. I knew he was being dishonest when he said it, but I got to continue to let him talk. Let me play something that he said, and then I'm going to show y'all the receipts. I'm going to show y'all the receipts. Hold on. When I finish this, Band Up, it's on you. All right, hold on 1 second, y'all.
Hey, Marty, while you getting your video geared up, I just wanted to say that I'm about to come on live and be on here for an hour. Don't ever work out too well.
It never works out too well. I got it queued up, And I'm going to show y'all the inconsistencies that have been going on. This is Victor Conti, December 27th, 2023, when he was sitting right in my face. This is what he said. Don't take my word for it. Roll the tape.
So the reason the fighters are coming to me is because they know that I understand the process and I understand how to help them enroll in the program where they're doing the most stringent program.
Now, stop right there. The reason why the fighters that he's working with come to him is because he can help them enroll in Vada testing, and they know he knows the program and how stringent their testing is. Now, I already proved to y'all that Dr. Margaret Goodman denied the fact that there was anything such called stringent. But my point is, though, right? What's up, Toon? My point is, he said the reason why the fighters are going to him is because the fighters know he can help them enroll in Vada testing. Well, I got a question on that. Let's see who I can use.
So why do they need him to help them fill out a form?
I got
Ain't
you.
that enrolled?
I was just thinking that too.
That's where I'm going with that, y'all. Stay right there. I got you. When Vasily Lomachenko and let's say Shakur Stevenson and Bivol, right? They're not with the snack program. They're not with Victor Conti, right? You mean to tell me they didn't need help to fill out an application? But the snack fighters, they need Victor Conti to help them to complete an application that's asking for their name, their date of birth, when their fight is coming up, their address, filling out what's called a whereabouts form. They need Victor Conti to help them do that. But the other fighters that's not with snack, they don't need him to help them enroll. That's point number one. Point number two, here it come right here. Don't take my word for it. Roll the tape.
So when you sign the enrollment form, it says that we will test for all prohibited substances at all times. So there's a big difference, okay, in what Usada is doing and what Vada is doing. Vada is far more stringent.
Okay. Let's say his words back to y'all. He said, his words, not mine. When athletes sign the enrollment form, which is the application to enroll in Vada testing, on the enrollment form, it states, we will test for all prohibited substances. And this is the difference between what Vada is doing and what Usada is doing. Vada is way more stringent. But you see how he can say that on December the 27th, 2023. And here we are, January 13th, 2025, and I can keep that same receipt and show y'all on your screen that that's a lie. You want to know how I know that? Let's pull up on your screen the actual athlete application for program admission. This is directly from Vada's website. This is how fighters actually enroll. I'm not going to point out the bottom part where it says your name, your date of birth, your address. It's a form. But I want to show the words that's above and below where the fighters will sign and they will insert their name, date of birth, and all of those things. This is the application. Now, Victor Conti just said on the application to enroll, it states that Vada will test for all prohibited substances. Now, not only do I have a history of creating my own contracts, but I also have experience in a history of reviewing them. So I know how to skim through. And I'm sure some of you may have that skill set that has been developed as well. You ain't gonna find nothing in this application, nowhere. And guess what? You don't have to believe me. You can go on their website when this live go off and go on Vada's website and then pull up the PDF for the Vada enrollment form. And you ain't gonna find nothing in there that states that they will test for all prohibited substances. That's what Victor Conti told us it says. You ain't gonna find it here. And then right below where the fighters will actually insert their name, date of birth, and their address and everything like that. This is the part that's underneath it. You ain't gonna find it in here either.
And just not to cut you off, Marty, but just to insert this real quick, those are the inconsistencies that people don't pay attention to. Why is a fighter coming to you because you could help them sign up for Vada? That doesn't even make any sense. As if other fighters aren't signed up for Vada that didn't come to you. And people just overlook that.
But then when I pointed out 2 cents, Dean, Band Up Ty, and everybody that's here, I'm a hater. I'm the Walmart manager. I'm the manager at Popeyes. You know what I mean? These are insults. What does they say? Victor Conti said, I'm a homeless musician. You know, we got people, Rachel Donier, you know, saying I'm broke, you know what I mean? And just different things. They insult me when I point these things out, though.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
That's hilarious.
Hey, Band Up, you there, bro?
Yeah, man. Yeah,
Come on, talk to me.
yeah,
Talk to me,
man,
big
man.
dog. What's up, man?
I heard all this, and I still got my question. I'm glad I went last. I'm glad I went last. So I got a question for you, Manager Marty. Did you? Because I was here with that Morgan Goodman. You know what I mean? And I don't remember everything. Did you ask Morgan Goodman about Terence Crawford directly?
No.
That's what I'm getting.
You mean? Let me be specific about what
him not about him apparently not testing at all in 3 years. So we don't got that from her mouth that's been confirmed or denied.
No, we haven't confirmed, but I didn't ask for that. But you want to know the truth?
We got to confirm.
Yeah, we have it confirmed.
Okay, how we got that confirmed? You know what I mean? Because I'm hearing I hear everything you're saying, and everything you're saying so far, Margaret has said too. But that's the one thing that you have said that Margaret didn't say.
I'm gonna take my glasses off for this. I love entertaining the people. Band Up. You've been here long enough. You know where I'm going with this. Now,
come with it. That's what I'm waiting for it.
I did not ask her about a specific fighter being tested because there is a protection known as HIPAA law. So I didn't want nobody to come back to me and say that either I myself or Margaret Goodman, Dr. Margaret Goodman, the CEO and president of Vada, is violating a HIPAA law because Terence Crawford himself, I'm just going by what he said. The man said he's got anemia. He's anemic. And that's why Victor talked about providing him with injections and other things that he used. So I didn't want to violate HIPAA law. But you know what I did ask Margaret, which I knew the answer to set up for why I didn't have to ask her about a particular fighter being tested? Because I asked Margaret Goodman about this. I said, Dr. Margaret, and I got the tape, you know I pulled it up. I said, Dr. Margaret Goodman, I said, I saw you in an interview like 7-8 years ago, and you stated that if an athlete enrolls in Vada, you and your website will acknowledge that they are enrolled in testing. Can you speak and elaborate on that? And she said, yes, that is true. When an athlete is enrolled in Vada and they are tested, 8 weeks before the fight, Vada will then publicize it. They will acknowledge that they're enrolled. Like, for example, look at your screen here. I can prove it to you right here. Like for Devin Haney, for an example, when he enrolled in Vada 8 weeks prior to fighting Ryan Garcia, this is what the website looked like with a fighter like Devin Haney, right? And then she said, if an athlete tests positive for a banned substance after enrolling in the program, they are removed from the website. So the reason why I didn't have to ask her directly about Bud is because they never acknowledged Bud Crawford on their website until November 2020. You can go on Vada website right now. Now, of course, when this go off, like they did the last time with Devin, they're going to probably update it. But you ain't going to find not one public acknowledgement that Terence Crawford was enrolled in Vada after November 14th of 2020.
So Terence Crawford was removed.
Either, my man.
I'm asking you.
No.
Yes or no? Like yes or no, Marty? Was Terence Crawford removed?
This is what I said. Either Terence Crawford
tested positive or Terence Crawford didn't test, period. It's got to be either one.
So no. I just want to know, was he removed? Because you said that they won't be acknowledged and they will be removed. So what was he removed? And segment to that. Was Terence Crawford and Errol Spence both acknowledged when they were supposed to fight on Vada? Were either one of them? Was Errol Spence either?
Let me answer your first question.
That's the big question. That's the big fight at question. That's what, you know what I mean? What's her name? Taya brought up earlier. You know what I mean? How they look so different, but she didn't want to bring up the 9,000 excuses that Errol Spence had after the fight.
Okay, I got you. Let me answer your first question first. So when fighters are enrolled in Vada, they're only enrolling 8 weeks prior to a fight. You understand that part?
Yes.
Okay. You understand that Vada doesn't have out of competition testing. You understand that?
Yes.
Part?
Yes.
You understand that 365 24/7 testing through Vada does not exist and never did. You understand that part?
Yes.
You understand that the promoters of the actual fighter has to pay for the testing of the fighter that they are actually promoting, and sometimes the opponent. You understand that?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so when Terence Crawford fought 8 weeks prior to fighting Sean Porter, he was not publicly acknowledged on the website. When Terence Crawford went 8 weeks before fighting David Ebenezer, he was not publicly acknowledged on their website. When Terence Crawford went to fight Errol Spence 8 weeks prior to that fight, he was not publicly acknowledged. When I asked Victor Conti that while he was here, and I got the tape, I asked him about that. He said that Terence Crawford and Errol Spence did 12 weeks of testing, right? That's what he told me, right? And then the second time he came, I put up on my screen where he tweeted 2 days after the fight that Terence Crawford and Errol Spence did 8 weeks of testing. So I said, that's the contradiction. That's a contradiction, Victor. 2 days after the fight, you said they did 8 weeks, but now you're telling me to my face 12 weeks. Which one is it, bro? And then I asked them, why wasn't they publicly acknowledged on the website?
Yes.
And Victor told me that PBC and Al Heyman have a quote-unquote muzzle rule in agreement with Vada that none of PBC fighters would be publicly acknowledged on Vada's website. And I said to him, I'm glad you said that. Let's say that is true, Victor Conti, that PBC and Vada agreed that none of the PBC fighters will be acknowledged, even though 2 years before the interview, I got the tape, and I also have a screenshot of Errol Spence being tested through Vada. But anyway, I said, if that's true, well, how come there was no muzzle rule for Terence Crawford when he fought Sean Porter? That wasn't a PBC card. That was a top-ranked ESPN card. When Terence Crawford fought Sean Porter, that was on ESPN. That wasn't on PBC. Am I right or wrong?
Mm-hmm.
So then why didn't Bob Arum, if he paid for testing, why didn't Vada publish and acknowledge Terence Crawford when he was signed with Bob Arum then? Now, if PBC got a muzzle rule, I can understand why Sean Porter wasn't publicly acknowledged. He was with PBC, but Terence Crawford wasn't. He was with Bob Arum in Top Rank. So why didn't Vada publicize that? I caught Victor, and you know what he said? I gotta ask. I'm not sure if it was even tested in that fight. Then he came back the second time and said, I reached out to Terence Crawford, and I got the email if you want me to pull it up. I reached out to Terence Crawford. He told me it was testing. This is Victor telling me. Then he said, when I reached out to Sean Porter never answered my text message. So I don't know. I don't think it was testing. But you, both of those guys was in your program. They both had the snack logo on their trunks when they fought each other. So So how come you don't know there's testing in this fight, but you know when Ryan Garcia wasn't tested last year and he wasn't fighting a snack fighter? Which one is it?
I definitely understand that.
They can't do nothing with me, man.
Question, Marty, would you know? Listen, I hear you. You said
can't do nothing with me, man.
Okay, I hear you, Marty. But you said you had proof Errol Spence was tested 2 years before the Terence Crawford and Errol Spence fight.
Absolutely.
Terence Crawford and Sean Porter was a year before Terence Crawford fight. He was out in the ring for a year. No, David Ebenezer. No, he fought David Ebenezer. He fought David before he fought Errol.
No. I'm say that again.
No, so I'm trying to line it up. I'm trying to line it up in my head because you said 2 years before, and I'm trying to think. Okay, that's for Errol being acknowledged 2 years before Terence Crawford and before him and Terence Crawford fought, right?
Yes.
And
yes,
that's still Errol, and that's still Errol's last fight. So Errol wasn't acknowledged on that page in that fight, his last fight, right?
No.
But you have proved that he was taking it that he was tested 2 years before that, which would be what, that the Ugas fight?
No, it was before the Ugas fight.
It's before the Ugas fight.
Yeah.
So he wasn't. So was he acknowledged on the Ugas fight?
No, because remember.
So they have a whole PBC rule altogether.
Yeah, supposedly PBC have a muzzle rule. I'm gonna give you like this. Hold up, I got something for the people.
Jay is in. I mean, 2 Cents is backstage too.
She is 2 Cents. I thought she was up here. Hold on.
I think she fell off. But real quick, Bando, I don't mean to cut you. I'm getting a little flack in the comments. They're saying that Bud was tested before and after the Errol Spence fight.
Who said that?
In the comments, that's what they saying. What's this guy name? I don't know his name.
Let me see. Let me go scrolling this. Who said that?
Let me interject here for a second, Marty, and emphasize another point in contradiction from Victor Conti. 2 of them, actually. The first one is, just like he sat up here and said, you know, TBT and Al Heyman and them have a muzzle rule and this and that. He just recently came out with the Benavidez David Morrell fiasco and said, oh, TBT does a great job with the testing. They make sure this and this and that. And I'm like, but you sat on Manager Marty and said they don't do this and they don't do that and they keep the rules a secret and all of that. And then for you to say you don't know if there was testing, didn't you say that your athletes take pictures and send it to you? And aren't you the one that helped them sign up? Now all of a sudden you don't know? And it's crazy that y'all continue to trust this man. He contradicts and lies every interview. It's crazy. And I've been seeing this since before he even came on your channel, Marty. You can go back and look at old interviews, and that's the reason why we've been on his head. And y'all steady just let him keep passing because he's working with your favorite fighter. No.
That's correct. That's correct. And that's a good point too, since boxing. And you're absolutely correct. And I've been doing research on all this for 15 years. So it's not like I just woke up in the morning and, you know, they say, oh, you hating on Devin Haney. No, I've been doing research way before I even thought about even coming on YouTube. But now because Vanda put that out there, can everybody mute their phone real quick?
Yeah, Manager Marty, Hacker's backstage as well.
All right, I'm gonna let Hacker on in a minute. I got you. Thank you, Ty. Everybody mute your phone. I want to show the people this. All right, look, bam. I'm gonna turn my camera off so the people can see this. Who that on the screen, y'all?
Errol.
That's Errol Spence right there on Vada website, 2019. Now let me show you the last time Vada acknowledged Terence Crawford. Bam, on your screen. You see that? I make too much sense when I talk. November 14, 2020. That when he completed it. They posted it October 22nd, 2020. You see that? That Terence Crawford right there. That's the last time he was publicly acknowledged on Vada's website. So where was the testing at in 2021 when he fought Sean Porter? Where was the testing at, and where was the acknowledgement form and the acknowledgement on their website for Terence Crawford when he fought David Ebenezer? Because guess what? Terence Crawford wasn't with PBC when he fought Sean Porter, and he wasn't with PBC when he fought David Ebenezer.
And there also is no drug testing where he fought at.
So to be clear, we're not sure if he tested for Errol or not.
No. But even if he did, you got the guy over there that can beat the test.
Hell, we're not sure if Errol tested for Errol or not. If that's the case.
Say that again, Bando.
I said, then we ain't sure if Errol tested or not. And if that's the case, he looked more suspicious than Terence Crawford did in that damn fight.
What?
He had more questions to him than Terence Crawford did.
Y'all love bringing up Earl name.
No, because that's the fight she. That's the fight she. That's the reason why I even hopped on. That's what she was bringing up. That's what Tri was bringing up. If you weren't here, 2 cents.
Can I ask you a question, Bando?
Yeah. What's happening, Dean? How you doing? Salute, Dean.
And be genuine, my brother. Are you not suspicious of Victor Conti? with his history and him coming up here admitting that he knows drugs that are undetectable and he knows how to do it. You know he knows how to do it. You're not suspicious of Victor Conti at all?
Victor Conti is a goddamn foot in his mouth. That's what he is. I have no choice but to. I wouldn't. Yeah, listen. I'm answering your question. I'm answering your question. No, I cannot defute this truth that Marty's putting out. That's why I rock with him, and that's why I call him a realist, because he's putting out things that you can't defute. You know what I'm saying? So I have to. I wouldn't be genuine. I wouldn't be real if I sit here and say I could trust that man 100%.
So then let me ask you this question then, Band Up. If you can't trust him 100%, then why do you try to defend Terence Crawford when even you're suspicious of the person that he's dealing with?
I'm not Terence Crawford.
No, I didn't. I know. I didn't ask you about what Terence Crawford does. I said to Band Up, why are you defending Terence Crawford when even you are suspicious of him dealing with Victor Conti?
No, because I just don't see these. I don't see these comparisons that people are trying to make it seem like Bud is this dirty fighter. Yet the man hasn't popped up. Yet you guys want to say he hasn't tested. Yet the person you guys are saying he hasn't tested. Listen. Why I'm getting there is because everybody wants to keep pointing to this fight that is somehow a big ass anomaly and want to run with that damn narrative. That's why he looks suspicious because of that fight. When the other dude he fought against ain't got tested with it. So I'm lost.
Band Up, but that's not where Band Up go.
I had a question. I mean, I don't understand why he's so hostile, but it was me that presented that case study simply because that he didn't look right to me in that fight. I'm not saying that Bud can't fight. I'm not saying that Bud didn't win on his own merit. All I'm saying is we don't know. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
And Ty, go ahead, man.
And also, we don't know whether there was testing between Terence Crawford and Errol Spence. We talked about that, but what we do know as a fact is that Vada did not publicly acknowledge Terence Crawford on their website since October 22nd, 2020. We haven't seen Terence, and he's had 3 to 4 fights since then, and those 3 to 4 fights that he had, where he was not publicly acknowledged on Vada's website, he was working with who? Victor Conti.
Yeah, did you forget about Boxing Hacker?
No, I didn't forget. I know he's back there. I got something for him.
Okay.
But now watch this. This going to prove my point again about 24/7, 365 testing through Vada being a hoax. Let's look at the date that's on your screen with Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford, congratulations to Terence Crawford for successfully completing Vada testing through when? November 14th, 2020. Now, why would they say that if 365 24/7 testing existed? When you look at your screen now, go on and look at it. You see that on November 14th, 2020, Terence Crawford fought who in 2020 on November 14th? Kell Brook. You see where I'm going with this? So when he was with Top Rank and he fought Kell Brook, they publicized it on their website right here. Vada did. But when he fought Sean Porter and both of them was rolling with Victor Conti in the snack protocol, they didn't publicly acknowledge on their website. Terence Crawford was with Victor Conti in the snack protocol when he fought David Ebenezer. They didn't publicly acknowledge it. That's suspicious. See, nobody can refute anything that I said. All I'm doing is proving right there on your screen that the only time Vada tests is during the 8 weeks prior to a scheduled fight. So then the question becomes, if what we've been seeing from them consistently, like they did with Bud Crawford for the Kell Brook fight, and like they do everybody else, like they did with Devin Haney, is on your screen right here, when he was fighting Ryan Garcia 8 weeks prior, then why are they, number one, tweeting our 24/7 program? Welcomes real Devin Haney to our 24/7 365 program when they know they don't have one. And not only that, I'm going to go back to 2012. If they never had a 24/7 365 program and they only tested 8 weeks prior to a fight, then why was no Nito Donaire? with Victor Conte coming out in interviews saying he was the first fighter to do it. Victor Conte came out in interviews in 2012 saying Nonito Donaire is the first one to actually do 365 24/7 testing through Vada. Huh? If
Hey,
everything
Manager
is on the
Marty,
up and up, if everything is
what
on the up and up, then what are people lying for? There's no documentation to substantiate any of these verbal statements or these public statements through social media. Where is it?
Manager Marty, what year was that?
If we all, hold on, I got y'all. If we all are on the same team, myself as an anti-dope, yeah, I'm the anti-doping advocate. Myself, Victor Conte, Vada, if we all three on the same team promoting clean sport and we're anti-doping advocates, then how come we're not on the same page with the evidence and the information? There's something wrong with that picture. And that's all I'm saying.
You got a super chat. Man.
I do. I got him. I'm on it. Thank you, Ty.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Manager Marty,
I think Dean
what
was
year?
saying
What year was Nonito Donaire in the 24/7 365 test? And I'm asking for a reason.
You was breaking up. Say that again.
I said, what year did Nonito Donaire enroll in the 24/7 365 testing?
Well, they claim it was in 2012. Like I showed. Look on your screen. Look on your screen. Oh, damn! Let me take this off. Look on your screen right there. You can't probably. I circled it and highlighted it. June 18, 2012.
No, I can see it.
2012. Yeah, that's what they.
So my question is, Manager Marty, because I ain't heard nobody say this. This what makes it more suspicious than anything, and how I know this is a publicity stunt. Then why has it taken 13 years to get another fighter enrolled in it? If it's legit and this is something that they do, then why did it take 13 years just to get another fighter to do it? Somebody answers that question for me, please.
I can. Oh, I know. Me. Gotta tell you.
Yes, sir.
Me. And I have to take my glasses off to say this for entertainment purposes. Because it never happened. Know why we all know that? Why 13 years later it so-called happened again? Because the founder of Vada, matter of fact, hold on, Dean. I'm not an expert. Let me let you hear what she said. I already got it queued up. Hold on. I'm going to answer your question with this. Hold on, watch this.
$2 cents is back, Marty.
I see her. Hold on, 2 cents.
And you still got Hacker backstage.
Yes, indeed. I just don't want to lose the audience. I'm going to let them on and I'm going to get that super chat. Hold on, y'all. Un momento. Here you go. I got it. Roll the tape.
All year round test, and I'll just jump right there first. Most people consider it 365 24/7 testing, right? So it should be 365 24/7 testing. When was the first time that 365 24/7 testing actually happened in boxing?
You know, it only, well, there's two ways to look at it. Nonito Donaire was the first fighter that we ever had that underwent testing in that way.
So when you say out of competition, and I've heard you mention that earlier, out of competition is basically when the fighters or athletes in general are not competing. Maybe they're in training, maybe they don't have a fight scheduled as of yet. Is that out of competition? Is that the meaning of that?
That's the meaning of it for all sports that are enrolled in testing, whether it's track and field or whatever. But what Vada has is Vada doesn't have out of competition testing. So
that's your answer, Dean. That's the answer, Dean. Your question was,
Wow.
how come we never had another fighter in 13 years to do 24/7, 365 testing since Nonito? And the truth of the matter is, Vada doesn't have out of competition testing. Can everybody mute their phone real quick? Vada doesn't have out of competition testing. Y'all heard me in that interview. Y'all just heard me. I gave her a layup so that the audience can know what out of competition testing meant before I asked her that, so we all can be on the same page here today, a whole year later, that there is no such thing as 365 24/7 testing through Vada. It's a hoax. It's a hoax. It's fake news because Vada doesn't have out of competition testing. They don't. Now, somebody might say, well, Manager Marty, you are still making this up and we still don't believe you. You're not the expert. How can we just go and believe you? Okay, well, let's hear a doping expert. Hold on, I'm going to play with he said. Hold on. I need y'all to, somebody has their phone on. Mute your phones, please. I'm gonna get the super chat with Mr. Finesse. Hold on. Let's hear what this guy had to say. This guy right here. Listen. Y'all gotta mute your phone. Y'all gotta mute your phone, somebody.
So there's a lot of loopholes. There's a lot of issues and problems that exist. But my goal is to be a truth speaker and point this all out so that people don't get deceived into thinking, oh, they're with Vada, so they got to be clean. And it's not, like I said in the beginning, I already walked the talk. I already did it. I already put up $40,000 for 2 fighters to be tested 24/7, 365. I did this back in 2012. Rachel Donaire can vouch in Nonito for me. So people need to understand that this is difficult. I've been advocating 24/7, 365 now since way back in the very beginning, and that needs to be clearly established. I've been pushing for this for what now? From 2012, so 11 years. There have been a total. This is all the 24/7 testing that's been done in the history of boxing. Nonito Donaire did 2 years. Edwin Rodriguez did 1 year. And when Canelo got popped for clenbuterol, part of the condition of coming back is he did 1 year only, 2018, of 24/7, 365. That's it.
What they lying for? I'm just a manager at Walmart. What they lying to me for? I'm just a manager at Target. What are they lying to me for? I'm about to be the manager at Chick-fil-A so we can open up on Sundays. What are they lying to me for? I'm just a homeless musician. That's what Victor called me. What are they lying to me for? I'm just a homeless guy living in a linen closet with mothballs in it. That's what Blue Blood said about me. What are they lying to me for? Oh, I'm just a janitor. That's what Coach Malachi said about me. Oh, I'm just a manager at Popeyes. I'm a fake manager. I ain't never had no world champion. All this stuff. Then what are these people lying to me for? Why? What are they lying to me for? I ain't nobody special. What's the lying for? If we all are anti-doping advocates and everything we're doing is on the up and up, then why are people upset with me for pointing out these inconsistencies, these contradictions, and these lies? There's something wrong with this picture. There's no such thing as 24/7, 365 testing through Vada. It's a hoax. It's fake news. You want to know why? Dean question just got answered. Vada does not have out of competition testing. So when Bill Haney was lying all these months, when Victor Conti even came out and said, I have a difficult time getting my own snack fighters. I offered sponsorship to Haney. I offered sponsorship to Crawford. I even offered sponsorship to Spence. That's what his exact words were. So then what is people lying for? Why?
I don't know about that, Marty. I think I think
Hold on,
you're
boxing hacker. Before you start saying that bullshit, let me say this.
okay.
So this is the thing: when somebody is telling you information and it's ambiguous, and the information doesn't need to be ambiguous. We're talking about drug testing and the protocol. It shouldn't be no hemming and hawing. You should be able to say dot dot dot. This is the drug testing protocol we do. Dot dot dot. This is the 8-week protocol we do. Dot dot dot. But instead it's well, you see, we don't. That is a problem, y'all. We're talking about drug testing. It shouldn't be this confusing. And when you're talking to somebody about something that shouldn't be confusing, your antennas should go up because you probably about to get scammed. I don't understand why y'all don't understand that. And my second question, and what I wanted to ask Manager Marty was, have you heard Victor talking to Turkey or saying anything to Turkey about Vada? I'm curious about that because me personally, I haven't seen it.
To answer your question, I'm gonna get to the super chats after that, and then Boxing Hacker. I haven't heard Victor Conti mention anything about testing with Turkey. But once again, you know, people. How can I say this? There's only two WADA accredited labs here in America. Okay, that's the Smarto lab. Okay, the SMRTL lab in Utah, and then there's the UCLA lab that tests the NCAA athletes in Los Angeles, California. They're the only two WADA accredited labs that perform the tests that need to be performed that exceeds the commission testing to really catch an athlete doping. And all of the agencies, Vada and Usada, they use the same exact lab. The difference, or two of the differences between Usada and Vada is a nonprofit, they are voluntary, and they only, according to their website, let me put it back on my screen so people can see, they only allow professional athletes to be subject to unannounced testing at any time during the 8 weeks prior to a scheduled fight. Because as y'all just heard, Dr. Margaret Goodman, the CEO of Vada, say, Vada does not have out-of-competition testing. USADA, on the other hand, which is why Floyd Mayweather promoted them and used it in his last 7 to 10 fights, after he signed that deal with Showtime, they subject Olympic athletes to what's called Olympic-style random testing because they perform testing at any time, 24/7, 365, whether an athlete is in competition, like Vada does 8 weeks prior to a fight, and they also do out-of-competition testing, even when an athlete is not even scheduled to compete. And that's the loophole that Vada have, and that's the reason why Victor Conti is over there.
Hey, so can I chime in real quick?
Hold on 1 second. Let me get these super chats. And remember, I told you next. I got you. I know what's about to happen. I know. Let me get these super chats because people supported the channel, and I have to publicly acknowledge them. Hold on 1 second. Let me get the super chats. Double salute to my guy, Mr. Finesse. Mr. Finesse been here. He's a day one supporter. Thank you for the super chat and your support. Mr. Finesse says, salute, Manager Marty. See how the rules change depending on who you're talking about? Everyone has morals and credibility until their favorite is the topic. And I would have to agree with Mr. Finesse. It is the truth. I mean, the rules always change. But then when someone's favorite athlete is the subject of the matter, especially with the contradictions and lies that's being told and perpetuated through the public, now all of a sudden, you know, there's a big issue. And it's always been an issue with people with morals and credibilities. and it's unfortunate. Double salute to my guy, Toon. Thank you, Toon. Day one supporter, always supporting with the super chat and the comments. Much love and respect for you, Toon. Thank you for your contribution. Toon says in the super chat, when the fight was over, first thing they brought up was the weight. Then they changed it to the Ostarine. We know why Haney lost. He ain't on Tank's level. And that is true that obviously when Devin Haney first lost, and I told y'all this right the next day after the fight, Devin and Bill Haney disappointed me and others for not showing their face in the place to the post-fight press conference and taking their losses like men. Instead, they ran out the back door and they did these little 2 interviews with the little small-time reporters on YouTube, and they didn't stand in front of the whole entire media and the public to deal with their loss. And then all of a sudden, Devin Haney's brother, I think he said Allah told him, I don't know what happened, but Allah must have told him, and this is his words, that Ryan Garcia was going to test positive for a banned substance way before the announcement even came out by Vada that Ryan Garcia tested positive for any substance. And so then it was the weight first of the reason why Devin Haney lost, and then now it was the minuscule levels of Ostarine. And I wanted to point that out. Double salute to my homegirl, Barbara D. She always coming through. She's been here for a couple of months, and she's been coming through, supporting the channel, contributing to the channel in all kind of ways. Thank you, Miss Barbara D, for your super sticker. I really appreciate you. And my God, double salute to him. Always been a member, day one supporter, Lifeline Music TV. Thank you for your super chat. And I'm excited because we're finally getting an opportunity to speak on this matter. And it's so important that now that all information is out, my 15 years of dedicated research is not in vain. And now we can see what's really been going on. I mean, look, people can say they don't like me all they want. What difference does it make? I'm not here to win a popularity contest. I mean, I've been popular all my life. The bottom line is we're dealing with the truth through facts and evidence. Boxer Hacker, 30 seconds. What you got for me, dog?
Salute, y'all. So let's clarify some things real quick. So when it comes to out of competition testing and in competition testing, those are 2 different test sets. Out of competition testing is a set of tests you give before competition. In competition testing is a set of tests you give leading up to the competition, and they differ. So there are 2 different test sets. You're right. Usada has both out of competition testing and in competition testing. Right? They have a test set for when leading up to the event and a test set that's before the event, and they differ. However, Vada has neither. Vada doesn't have out of competition testing, nor do they have in competition testing, because they only have 1 test set, which means that they test for everything throughout the year, regardless. So,
okay, now
so that's why it's actually more stringent for Vada. Vada says more stringent because they don't have this.
I got you, Boxer Hacker. That's why Vada's more stringent than you. You saying the same thing Victor Conti saying, but I got something.
It's what Mark Goodman said in the interview.
Okay,
she says this.
I know.
She uses Olympic style testing as an example of why Vada is better.
I got it. I got something for you. I got something for her, and I got something for Victor. Let me ask you a question on that.
Yes.
Now you said that Vada doesn't do in competition testing.
No, because it's a test set. So
I know.
The term in competition means leading up to competition. They do testing leading up to competition. But if you mean in competition testing, they don't have a differentiator. They only have 1 test set. So I'll give you an example, Manager Mark.
Hold on. Let me finish asking my question.
Hold on. Real quick.
Hold on. Let me finish asking my question before you get your dance. I understand.
Okay. All right.
You said that Vada does 1 test.
1 test set.
1 test set for all
everything.
prohibited substances, right?
So their tests don't differ. So whatever test they
listen. Vada, hear me out. Vada has 1 panel of in competition testing, and they test for all prohibited substance. Correct?
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying they don't have.
Okay, well, tell me what you're saying.
I'm saying they don't. Their test set, the set of tests they do test for, does not differ before, during, or after competition. That's what I'm saying.
What are you talking about?
So that's what Mark. So in your interview, Mark Goodman actually defined this after that segment. She said that, hey, USADA, which does Olympic style testing, has both in competition and out of competition testing. We don't have that. We only have one test set throughout the year. This is why their test is actually more stringent, because if you have two different sets of tests, that means there's something one test set that differs than the other, meaning that you're not testing for the whole thing, at least one test set.
Okay, now let me clarify something for you.
Yes.
Because you in my alleyway now. You know that boxing. I don't know what you do for a living, but you know anything boxing. You know I'm the expert, right?
I'm not sure, but sure.
Yeah, all right. Well, let me tell you this. I know all about testing, brother. Now, let me tell you this. When she was talking about in competition, out of competition, she was talking about the out of competition panel, which is just for substances such as narcotics. Did you hear her say that?
Yes. So yeah, in competition, because Olympic style, they test for narcotics in competition.
Hold on for a minute. Did you hear her say that?
Did y'all hear her say mention narcotics? Yes.
The panel for out of competition testing, the panel that they use at Vada is just for narcotics. Did you hear her say that?
No. So this is where the misconception. Okay,
bro.
Let me just land with this example.
Time out. Boxing hacker. We're not doing this today, bro.
Yeah, let me just land with this example.
Did you hear her say that? Yes or no?
USADA has narcotics in competition.
Boxing hacker.
They have
asked you that. Did you hear her say that? Yes or no?
That she mentioned narcotics, yes, but not in the context of you.
Boxing hacker, answer the question, yes or no. This is your problem.
Hold on.
Yes or no?
Boxing hacker. Hold on, D.
If you want, can you replay the whole segment?
No.
Not just a part.
This show, you're not going to dictate what happens on this show. We're not talking about that. I'm proving a point here. Hold on, boxing hacker.
Yeah.
Did you hear Dr. Margaret Goodman say when they do out of competition testing for Vada, that means there's a panel they use specifically for narcotics?
Yes, which includes all of it.
Stop. That's all I want to know.
It's all of it. They only have one test set.
Bruh, that's all I want to know.
You're misconstruing things.
No, I'm not.
Let me just give the example I want to give.
Bruh, no, listen to me.
No, let me give you the example.
No, listen to me. Or I'm going to get you out of here. Yo, listen to me, or I'm going to get you out of here, bro. Because you're trying to come to my job and tell me, the expert, about how my job operates when fighters get tested, bro. I'm trying to educate you. Now, since you said that, and I'm glad you finally agreed that she said their out of competition panel is narcotics, then let me ask you.
It's not just narcotics, though.
No problem. You ain't here.
All tests. I keep saying it's only one set.
No problem. Okay. Then let me ask you this then.
Yes, feel free.
Look at your screen, bro. Then why are they saying that Devin Haney is welcome to their 24/7, 365 program? Tell us that.
Because he tested. He's a part of the program. There's nothing she's saying.
What program?
So there's nothing that she said that invalidates that, right?
Bro, what program? What 24/7?
They have a program where you get tested throughout the.
How do you?
Because they are stating based on their statement. They are stating they have a program.
How do you know that?
Based on their statement. So I am basing on the statement that they made that they have this program.
Who said that? Vada?
Vada, yes, on their official Twitter page.
I'm glad you said that. So their statement on Twitter says our program on your screen, right?
Yes.
Okay. Then why do their website say this then?
That's a good question. You can ask them.
No. You want to defend them.
You can ask them on Twitter.
No,
wait.
Bruh, why do if they have a 365 24/7 program, why do their website don't even say that? Why do their website say?
But their Twitter does. If you feel like if there's a discrepancy, we can always ask them on Twitter.
No,
where's the registration for it?
Listen, bro. There's
a number of reasons. The reason why I'm saying there's a number of reasons. I'm an engineer. I can tell you. Some people don't update their website. It could be the website was updated. It could be another link.
I'm glad you said that.
That's not part of their main page.
Okay, great.
Boxing hacker, they just updated their website.
Deem, I got him. Deem, you're right. Bro, I'm glad you said that. They don't update their website. But look at your screen right here. They updated their website to put year-round enrolled fighters.
And that's why I say you can ask them. You can ask them directly.
No, I'm asking you. You said they probably didn't update their website because you were an engineer. Well,
okay.
They updated their website when they did this with Devin Haney. They put year-round enrolled fighters under that.
after I put that video out. Now, I wish you would challenge me because I want you to look at your screen here. Bam! In June, you don't see it. When he was testing for Ryan Garcia, you ain't see year-round testing on that then.
Okay, but it doesn't mean so. So here's I can tell you.
Tell me.
So you can't create false dichotomy and say, oh, it's not on the website. That means it doesn't exist. That's not how that works. Obviously, they're saying. So you told me to tell you. Right?
And Boxer Hacker, you can't say it do exist without no proof. That works both ways. You understand that, right?
I can't. But that man about to raise my blood pressure up. I got a business
I know.
2.5 hours. I can't do it. Boxer Hacker, I had to let him go. I not today, y'all. All I'm saying is we see the evidence in front of us. Vada does not subject any athletes to 365 24/7 testing because they do not have out of competition testing. That's period. The only testing that they do is what Margaret said to me and what's on their website 8 weeks prior to a fight. And they've always been this way. So Boxer Hacker can come up here and defend the Haneys and defend Victor Conti. It don't make a difference. As long as we know that Vada don't have out of competition testing, then they don't do 365 24/7 testing. Usada does, but not Vada. Case in point, look at your screen with Terence Crawford. It's the same thing when Terence Crawford, when he was tested for the Kell Brook fight, they acknowledged him being enrolled 8 weeks prior to the fight. And it says November 14, 2020. Well, here it is right here. November 14, 2020, he fights Kell Brook. Devin Haney says, oh man, I'm coming back in March. Well, if he's coming back in March and we in January now, that's 8 weeks right there. Am I right, Dean?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely.
So the question becomes, why are they lying? Why is everybody trying to deceive the public? If everything is on the up and up, why is everybody lying? Why is it now everybody want to update stuff and scramble? It's because I came out and said that 24/7, 365 testing is a hoax and it's fake news. And I'm going to go one step further. And I promise y'all I'm going to let y'all go because I got to go to a business meeting. I asked Rachel Donaire. See, she can go on boxing, knockout boxing channel and try to act like I'm being Hollywood and try to play me and all that. That ain't what the beef was. It's when I start asking questions about the paperwork. If Nonito Donaire in 2012, like you see on your screen, if he was the first fighter to do it, then Vada lying saying they don't have out of competition testing. Then Vada lying saying they only do 8 weeks before a fight of testing. Somebody's lying. And the thing is that Nonito Donaire and Devin Haney both are associated with Victor Conti and Snack. How come the only 2 or 3 fighters that ever did 365 24/7 testing through Vada is with Victor Conti? These are the questions that we need answered. I got Margaret Goodman number. I will call her. I got Victor Conti's number. I'll call her. I got Rachel and Nonito Donaire's number. I'll call them. But the problem going to be is they ain't going to answer the phone and answer these questions. And that's why they all got a beef with me. I ain't did nothing wrong with none of them. I didn't. And I'm still waiting for the paperwork. And if they can't produce paperwork, then guess what? It never happened. The only paperwork we have is on your screen right there. And that's what we're going to go by. They're a legitimate organization, a nonprofit organization. This is raising my blood pressure up. They're a nonprofit organization that accepts donations. You mean to tell me, and I know the federal law of nonprofit organizations because I have one. So all I'm saying is, why aren't they meeting the federal guidelines to put a public disclosure on their website if they're taking donations? Oh, okay then. That's another topic. But my point is, why wouldn't they update their website to let everybody know 365 24/7 testing is now existing with our organization? They said it on Twitter. That don't count. I don't know who run their Twitter account. I mean, I got a 2 cents. I got an idea. Hey, Band Up, I have an idea. Hey, Deem and Ty, I have an idea who's running their Twitter account. But I'm going to leave that alone because I ain't got no proof. That's just my opinion. But the only thing that we have documented to go by is the organization's website.
And that's going to be what we reference. We ain't referencing nothing else that somebody's saying out of their mouth, because they all been found lying. And that's all I got to say on that. Matter of fact, I got my man Greg. Hey, Mr. Greg, what's up, man?
Hey, how you doing, man? I had to go take a Tylenol because I woke up and came to the channel and there's Boxing Hacker early in the day.
Man, I was doing all right until I let him come up here. Mr. Greg, I have a confession to make, because I'm with thousands of people right now, and most of y'all are my family. I gotta take my glasses off because I know I do a lot of entertainment, but I'm serious. I've been doing research on this for 15 years. And I'm so passionate about clean sport. I'm passionate about boxing. And the more that I keep going back to all of the information that I have and that I had before, and I'm tying it all into what's going on today, it still bothers me. So I'm open to counseling. Maybe I need therapy because it's really be bothering me, y'all. Seriously. Because I see what's going on underneath the radar and nobody else is talking about it. So I'm man enough to admit, maybe I be so animated. Maybe I need to talk to somebody. I need to go sit down on the couch. But just know that my heart's in the right place and I'm passionate about this. I know what's going on, and they know I know. Now, if I got to keep on talking about this over and over until something gets done, I will. But that's not the only thing I'm going to do. I got a surprise for each and every last one of y'all. I'm letting the cat out the bag right now. Give me 6 months. I got something, really 4 months. But I'm going to try to get it done in 3. I got a special announcement for y'all. I have something that's going to help with all of this. But for right now, I got to continue to galvanize the support system that I have right here on YouTube. We know what's going on. I'm going to digress. I'm going to relax for a minute. Mr. Greg, I digress, my brother. I'm glad to have you. What's up, man?
Mr. Greg, the big dog.
Hey, Deem, I'm glad to see all of you. Barbara and Ty, and I think I saw everybody when they came in. And I sort of came in at the end of it, but it was Boxing Hacker who just like I said, I had to step back, take a Tylenol.
Yeah, he tends to have that effect on people.
Yes, I don't understand this man whatsoever. How's everybody doing though?
I'm good. I'm trying to figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
I'm great, Mr. Greg.
I'm seeing a lot of the subject matter is surprising. I'm not surprised, but it's surprising that finally other content creators are talking about it just gingerly. I think a lot of them are still afraid to dive all the way in to bring it to the forefront, because we got fans like ourselves who, we just want to see clean boxing. We don't want to see anybody be put in the hospital and things of that nature. And I think these channels that are doing it, Marty, was the first to lead in with this last, I think that was in 2023, actually, when he started really talking about it and got us a lot more aware of how prevalent it still is. I've been looking, I'm seeing that there are a lot of new drugs and so forth that are out there, and new and improved of the old ones that are out there that are probably seeping right back into boxing as we speak. And I think a lot of people aren't. I think one guy who was on 2 Cents Boxing earlier this week, if she's still here, I think it was VA, I believe his name was. He was sort of talking about it, but I don't think he doesn't realize that he's not the only one who knows about this kind of stuff. And it's just good that we get a chance to talk about this, and maybe we'll see some changes. I hope these guys on these podcasts who are talking about boxing and are serious about it will continue to do it, because that's the only way you're going to see some changes that need to be made. So we pay money, we pay our time, so we should be able to see really good, clean boxing and seeing guys, develop and grow and show their talents without there's any suspicion that they're using something that's going to be seen as cheating. So, that's how I've been looking at this lately. Even the guys who have little exceptions or who have some medical issues or supposedly have medical issues. And the fact that I just said that is a case where, do they really have these medical issues where they need to take something, even though they tell but it's really just a camouflage for them to do something else to help them compete. So yeah, I know Marty's probably very, very, very frustrated to try to tell this kind of stuff, and then you have a guy who comes on like, say, Boxing Hacker, who everybody knows I think he likes to agitate more than anything else, and come on and you try to get some information, and then he pissing you off, and because he pissed me off, and I just got here. So anyway, I'm glad that I was able to get on and to chop it up. Where you been at, Dean? By the way, I've been looking for you. Yeah, I haven't seen you. Where you been?
Man, I've been making them donuts, taking care of the girls. Man, it was the end of the year anniversary of my channel. Just had to get some things together, man. More incomes and things like that. So now I'm a little more settled. Got everything going the way I needed to go. So we back on the ball. I've been dropping videos lately, and I probably go live this Saturday. Because Fridays may not work for me like that. So I'll probably go live this Saturday, getting back into the flow. And guess what, Mr. Greg? Yeah. I like that. I let people talk that like to talk. And sometimes you got to sit back and just watch.
Yeah.
See what's going on. Yeah. Because just like this, Mr. Greg, Vada been lying for the last 15 years.
Right.
Because Mr. Greg and Manager Marty and Ty, I got one major question. See, we get too complicated with this stuff. It's this simple. Who waits 13 years to update their website?
I don't know anybody doing business that waits that long to provide accurate information. Anyway, that's wild to me.
Hey, y'all, can I get you laughing, Ty? My oldest daughter is 12, right?
Uh-huh.
That means when Nonito and them supposedly was in the 24/7 365, she wasn't even born yet. She taller than her mother right now, okay? Her and her mother wear the same shoe size. That should just let you know how much time done passed, okay?
Yeah.
It's just suspicious to me. Why they doing all this now? It's like I was asking Manager Marty, like, what's up with them? I mean, especially the Haneys, just 365. Like, if that don't even exist, like, what are y'all out here doing?
Ty, they been saying the 365. They just was lying.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, all this smoke and mirrors, but what is the reason? That's what I don't understand.
I tell you the reason, Ty. It's to get out of fighting Ryan Garcia because they know Ryan's not going to do it.
That's crazy.
That's one of them. But I think it's also to give not just these are two particular fighters, but I also think it's sort of to give cloak of legitimacy to the sport in some kind of way, because those two aren't the only ones who don't know this whole testing thing is a fraud in terms of the 365.
Well, I think Ryan has a good idea. That's why he's not really, interested in nothing they got going on.
Yeah, it's interesting to know how many people that are on the inside of boxing at the level where they make the decisions about fights and the money and things like that, who are keenly aware of this BS, but allow it to continue, because sooner or later, some real investigations are going to come down the pike, and that's going to really, and it's going. I've said this many times before because I've seen it happen, many years ago, of course, but I've seen it happen where they're going to start investigating boxing. They're going to investigate it, probably go through the gambling aspect of it first. Yeah. And then they're going to see where the testing and the PEDs and the steroids play a role. That's going to happen. And the sooner they eliminate it, the sooner that they just say, hey, you can't use nothing anymore, not supplements, whether they're good supplements or bad or illegal supplements. The sooner they do that, the better it's going to be for boxing. Because once you start messing with the money, particularly if an investigation takes place, everybody gets hurt. But right now, everybody's playing this game. I'm clean. I'm like the 24/7, 365. You got to be with me every day of my life for a year in order to do that. So I don't even see how that could happen.
And to go back to what you said also, I think it's more like less a cloak to, duck and dodge certain fights if they want to, like, oh, this person doesn't want to do the 365. And like I said earlier, a lot of people can't afford that. Maybe a lot of promoters don't want to pay that. You know what I
They
mean?
don't.
How
You're
big
right.
their promotional umbrella is. Like, nobody wants to pay that, especially if their fighter does not have a fight and they can't recoup some of that money.
Absolutely. Because most of the time it's when you start, unless you got a couple of sponsors to get you started, because it costs money just like any other sport you want to get into for your equipment. You got to get sparrings. You got to have gym fees. You got to be able to pay your bills. So somebody got to sponsor you, or a manager is putting some money into you to get you started if you show promise. But things like the testing, most boxers, particularly when they haven't made those nice purses yet. Now, I ain't talking about the $1 million purse. I'm just talking about the high 5 or the high 6-figure purses.
Yeah, decent. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't afford to pay for the testing. And then if you do pay for the testing only to find out your opponent hasn't even done it. Yeah. So you're at a disadvantage financially because you don't either win into debt. Because sooner or later, when you do get a big money fight or a big purse, all that you owe got to come off the top first. So,
Mr. Greg, my thing is though, if Devin and Bill was so serious about this, and this did exist, because I see frequent flyer in the comments, if all of this was true, right? Then why are they just doing it now? They've been with Snack. So stay with me, y'all. If Vada has been offering this, then why is Devin and them just doing it now like they ain't been known about it? If it was true, that goes to show you that it never was. Because Devin and Bill said they've been enrolled in this. Come to find out, they just did it in January. So frequent flyer, I want to ask you, was they lying then or are they lying now? And it needs to be more investigations. The Muhammad Ali Act, last time I checked, Bill Haney is definitely He's not following the Muhammad Ali Act. Hey, Mr. Greg and Ty, didn't he win Manager of the Year for 2023?
Yeah. Supposedly, yeah.
Who is the CEO of
DHP? If I'm not mistaken, it's Bill.
I think Dean went out.
Yeah, well, to his point, he's definitely violating something. I don't know what it is, but for some of the Haney fans, my question is simply, are you a fan of the sport or just a fan of the Haneys? Because if you're a fan of the sport, I get why you would want clean fighters, this and that. But y'all have to admit that Bill and Devin do some really shady things. They're constantly contradicting themselves. They're lying all the time. I mean, Bill can't stop lying. It's almost like he has Tourette's or something. Like, I just don't understand this guy.
Hey, frequent flyer, you are lying about them being enrolled in it because just last year you said they renewed it. You forget Victor Conte was on Manager Marty channel last year and said nobody was in it. You see how you just lied that fast, frequent flyer? And you my fellow Philly brother, so I don't know why you're lying. Last year, because you said they renewed it. That means that was this year that just passed. How could they renew it when Victor Conte was on Manager Marty channel and said nobody was enrolled in it? That was last year as well. Which one is it, frequent flyer? You see how you'll do anything to defend Devin Haney, even lie. You didn't even think about the lie before you said it.
That's what I'm saying, Dean. That's why I asked him, are y'all a fan of the sport or just a fan of the Haneys? Because y'all can't deny that some of the things they say and do just aren't adding up. And it's just not, I mean, like, come on. Y'all can't see through the smoke and mirrors, or y'all just so in love with them that y'all just believe anything that come out their mouth.
See, people don't understand, from my perspective, you can love a fighter. I have some favorite fighters of my own, but you can still criticize them. You can still question their activity, just like you got a child. You love your child, but if you see they doing something or suspect something is wrong, you're gonna step to them.
And it don't have to be kicking their back, and it could be constructive criticism, but damn, y'all don't got no criticism for them at all.
Yeah.
Hey, Ty and Mr. Greg, frequent flyer sat up here and tried to lie because it's 2025. So he's saying Bill and them was enrolled the whole 2024. No, they wasn't.
Comments.
No, they wasn't, because Victor Conte was on this channel in 2024, sir.
Right.
What are you talking about, my guy?
Like,
Victor Conte said that they wasn't in it. Why are you arguing with me? He said prior, so that means whether it was this year, last year, They weren't in it. Period, bro. What are you talking about? You will knob gobble this man and lie when the head of Snack even said that he wasn't in it. Nothing you say is credible after that. You talk about they renewed it. No, they didn't. You know how you know that, frequent flyer? Because Vada just put it up on their website for this year. If that was the truth, well, then why wasn't it on there last year or the year before? Or when whatever her name is, Goodman was on here, why didn't she say that Devin Haney was enrolled in 24-hour testing? Only person she said that was Nonito Daenerys. But you know more than her and Victor Conti, though, about what they're doing with Vada. You know more than them. You know better. Oh, okay. Don't frequent. You know I do this. I don't even know why you will lie like that.
Frequent flyer. I mean, Manager Marty in here. I'm about to say, hop on the panel. Nobody got time to be scanning the comments for you, arguing back and forth with you.
No, I'm still here, but I want to say something real quick. Deem said it's on their website. I want to add a correction. So, they still don't have it on their website.
Oh man.
Vada still don't have the words 24/7, 365 testing on their website.
Because
you know why, Manager Marty? You want to know why? Because they don't test you when you're not in competition. So they can't. They would be lying if they put that on their website.
Like, it doesn't even make sense to do that.
Thank you. But guess what? After that video I did drop on December 31st, 2024, they went right back up there and updated Devin Haney's enrollment on the website. Here it go right there on your screen. Yeah, there it is. They made sure they put year-round enrolled fighters under his name, but they didn't want to update that 365 24/7 because they're a nonprofit organization. And they know people like me will come after them. They can't lie. They can't lie and take the people money under false pretenses. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
they shut the whole organization down.
They twitching for a lawsuit if they do that, so they can't post anything that they know is not true. You know, that's why it's probably on their Twitter, as Boxing Hacker said. That's
right, and that's why you see it right there on your screen on the Twitter account. I don't even know who's controlling the account. Mr. Greg, I have a slight idea who's really behind the scenes with the Vada testing account. You know what I mean? But I can't prove it, so I'm gonna leave it alone.
Manager Marty, frequent flyer said he's backstage, but deemed protective services are in effect. I'm not sure what that means.
Hey, guess what, Ty? You know what that means? It's because we tell the truth about Devin Haney. Just like Devin Haney come out here and say, they asked Devin Haney, they said, so how you feel about Shakur Stevenson and Gervonta Davis fighting? He said, we all should fight. We all should be fighting the best. I guarantee you Devin Haney's not fighting either one of the champions at 140 or 147. So what are you talking about, Devin?
Well, first of all, not fighting the best. They jumped out their body. I just saw an interview last night. Bill talking about he wanted his son to fight Boots. Like, you don't love your son, man.
Please, no, Ty, please let it happen. Please let it happen.
He's not ready for that, man.
Is that what Bill was at some place? I believe it was Vegas when he was not trolling, but actually following the Haneys to some meeting. I just saw the video. They was coming out of the hotel and getting out of the car, and Bill, you could hear Bill's voice bothering them for some reason.
Yeah, that was
Ryan. That was
Ryan. Following Ryan. I'm sorry. Yeah, following Ryan.
That was after the Ring Award. That was after the Ring Magazine Awards when Ryan was leaving the venue. They were outside his vehicle heckling him like some damn high school kids. Mm-hmm. It's like 6 of y'all. Ryan by himself. Your father with his camera. You ain't gonna say nothing. You suing this man. What does he got to say to you?
Period. Why would he say anything to you when you suing you? We know Ryan's not scared of you. He beat you up.
I thought but I thought they were suing for assault, battery, and emotional distress. But they standing in front of the accuser and the abuser. With no fear.
They are ridiculous, yo.
Talking about the best should fight the best when he about to take a tune up. I don't want to hear nothing from Devin. That is a complete contradiction right there. The best, we all should fight each other. Meanwhile, you talking about your next fight not even going to be at a weight class. You don't cut it out. Hey, you're still worried about guys at 135 and you about to be at 147. But because you such a coward, you so scared to actually move up to 147, you want to do catch weights now. Oh, yeah, y'all. Before I land my plane to get off of here, you know the same thing they criticized Gervonta Davis for doing, taking catch weight fights. Oh, my bad.
Yeah, but you know, Devin's next fight is on Tubi Tuesday nights. So I'm not. They can get this stuff together because they washed, yo.
Todd, it won't it won't be the first time that a snack fighter go fight on, a day that most people don't watch boxing. Clarissa Shields was snack, and she's going to fight on Sunday, February 2nd. Yeah,
I
she got
forgot
to fight on this Sunday. Yeah. But let me get these 2 super chats. One of them being for the guy. Double salute to him. He's already up here. My man, Mr. Greg Quarterbaum. Thank you, since you're here, for your support and your contribution to the channel. Mr. Greg says, "Good afternoon, Manager Marty, and all the chat here. Oh, and all the chat. Here is my ticket money. Boxing hacker, it's too early, bro." And my guy, Akello Neater. Thank you, Akello, for your super chat, man, and I appreciate your support and contribution. Akello Neater says, "For chopping hacker off the screen." Yeah, Akello, I had to get him off. He was raising my blood pressure, man. I know he playing a lot of games, and I do have a question for Boxing Hacker because he left. He's not in the back. He's not backstage anymore. Because I wanted to just ask him 2 questions. With Boxing Hacker, is not Boxing Hacker. Frequent Flyer. Frequent Flyer, you here? Come on, I want to ask you a question real quick.
Hey, Manager Marty, I'm about to jump off. Mr. Greg and Ty, I hope y'all do amazing. I appreciate all y'all. Y'all hear me?
Okay,
Yeah, have a good day.
I'll look you up as soon as you get back on, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I done uploaded some videos, so go check it out, Mr. Greg. I'm about to upload another.
I'm gonna check them out.
I got you.
All right.
Appreciate you, Dean. Thank you for coming through, brother. Hey, we're a frequent flyer. I just want to ask him one question. That's all.
Is 2 Cents still here?
I think 2 Cents had to step away. I don't see Frequent Flyer in the comments no more either, though.
Oh, he left. I just had a question for him, but okay. But you know what? We all can get off, man. This is one of my best and fun shows that I've done. Matter of fact, this is the best show I've done in 2025. And
hey, did you see Raina's post just now?
Oh no, 2 Cents is here, Manager Marty.
Who's okay?
Raina. She just said that Devin be fighting on Tubi.
Yeah, that's what Ty said. I have to do this. I have
Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Don't miss them.
Yo, I got Miss West. She's here. I got Raina here. I got 2 Cents Boxing here. Of course, Ty is here up here on the panel. 2 Cents was on the panel as well earlier. Man, I want to double salute actually, all the ladies that came out today. Of course, Ty and 2 Cents came on the panel, but then the other ladies was in the chat engaging, and I'm so excited, and I appreciate all the ladies that came out today, and I look forward to seeing you all again. I'm going to go to my business meeting and take a Tylenol myself, Mr. Greg, but I promise you I'll be back tomorrow because I got to finish my series on the suspicious activity of Caleb Plant, Clarissa Shields, and Tyson Fury. Because I don't know.
To hear about Caleb Plant.
Yeah, and everybody's popping up with all these bumps on them. I'm not a medical physician, so I can't diagnose them and say acne. You know what I mean? But we know people in their 30s don't get acne on their back and their face.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying. But we want to continue our series tomorrow, live and living color, same time. And I look forward to seeing every last one of you. And this is how I'm going to do it today. Mr. Greg, can you give us your last 30 seconds? And then Ty, after you give your last 30 seconds, can you just close us out? We're going to leave it on Ty to close us out today.
Okay. It's always good to talk with all of you. We love the sport. We love the things that we're learning. We love the things that happen. Well, some of the things that happen. But I look forward to... What time are you on tomorrow, by the way? Because I just, by happenstance, found you today.
I'm going to jump... Well, tomorrow, I might have to jump on... let me see. Probably sometime around maybe... That's a good question. I'm going to try to get on at 11 o'clock.
Okay.
Probably 11 o'clock. I got to go to the gym in the morning. So probably sometime around 11 o'clock in the morning tomorrow.
Okay, I got you then. I'll try to make sure I get it. Everybody remember to support the channel. You can drop something on the channel. Do that as well. If you want to come up and talk, because we all like to talk about this sport, and I'm starting to feel every day there's more like I'm seeing family, that you can chat it with. So do that. Support these channels. Oh, by the way, 2 Cents, check to see if you got your if you got the super chat that I sent you yesterday, because I don't know if it went through like it's supposed to, but I hope it did, But I try to make sure that I support you all because I think I like what y'all are doing. But for all the chat out there, come on, do something. Talk to each other. Let things happen so we can enjoy this sport and continue. Because sooner or later, some things are going to happen, good and bad. And I'd rather see more good things happen than bad, and we can sort of direct what does happen. So, make sure you do that. And I'll step back and let Ty finish it off.
Oh, how can I follow that? I guess when you tell the truth, you don't have to have a good memory. If you move with intention, you don't have to do it for attention. Stay true to yourself and everything will be okay. Integrity should never have a price tag. That's it.
I like that, Ty. I'm gonna write that down. I'm writing that down right now.
But y'all be safe. Have a good afternoon, everybody.
Okay, you too, dear.
All right.